Welcome to the inaugural MSS eSports Championship 2022. My name is Zachary Moselle. Hosting shows alone can be pretty boring, So we've enlisted the help from a very special guest. Now, our guest host started sim racing in 2011 using keyboard on GTR2. Who does that nowadays? He downloaded all sorts of crazy mods for that time. So he got involved into iRacing in the end of 2012, joined the community in early 2013, raced in various overseas iRacing leagues from 2014 to 2016 with teams. Now that was when our guest learned most about sim racing. Now he started organizing a series in 2017 and became more active in the community side of the hobby. And since then, this guy has grown by leaps and bounds. And in 2020, he had the opportunity to cover some high-profile races. Okay, all the way down to the bottom, we can see basically he joined Apex Racing TV in 2018 to take on more formal iRacing league coverage, including the races like the leagues usually based in Europe and the Americas, but still very, very currently. Now, in 2020, he had the opportunity to cover some high-profile and official iRacing events with top broadcasters in iRacing eSport network. Now, as you know that iRacing's former official broadcasting platform. So where many events of real-world racing drivers, including F1, involved, all joined Adrenaline Impact to help the broadcast then. So who is this mysterious guy I'm talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Chen Wei-Han. Hi, Wei-Han.
Hi, Jack. Yeah, very excited to be here today to help you guys to be part of the coverage for the MSS eSports Championship.
So what's your guts feeling now?
I think I'm really excited for this race because obviously we're racing at the Marina Bay Street Circuit. Not something that everyone will get to do in real life, but certainly in the sim. And that's very much the case for the 11 or so drivers who are going to race here tonight.
Oh, so exciting, About this championship, I mean, why is this championship so important, huh?
Yeah, so it's going in fact to be a national series. So drivers who do make it in this series will then represent Singapore in the greater regional series that will come in the months to come.
Okay, so how are you involved in this championship?
Yeah, so I am involved in helping to cover with yourself, Zach.
Yep. So basically what he's trying to say, he's going to be my partner because I can't just host this race all on my own. He's a subject matter expert. I just drive a Toyota Wish. So anyway, my wish is to try to understand all this. But you guys, thank you for joining us. It's going to be really, really exciting. I tell you what, I just can't wait for the whole race to kick off. This being the inaugural race championship. So, all right, we will be going for a short commercial break. And when we come back, we will be talking more about today's circuit.
Fuel, spark, the trinity of power. You need all three to bring your engine to life. Kenny and Norm knew that, which is why for over 50 years, the company that bears their name has been re-engineering what filtration can do. Engineered to protect against dirt and scientifically proven to provide up to 50% more airflow. K&N, 50 years of performance and innovation.
Welcome back, and you're watching MSS eSports Championship Round 1 with Zachary and Wei-Han. Now, for the first round, we are visiting Marina Bay Street Circuit. Now, we know that the Marina Bay Street Circuit, otherwise known as the Singapore Street Circuit, is a street circuit around Marina Bay, Singapore, encompassing the planning areas of downtown core. Now, it is the venue for the Singapore Grand Prix, and the track is around 5.06 kilometers long in a harborside location similar in style to the Circuit de Marco and the Valencia Street Circuit. Now, the circuit is designed by KBR Incorporated, a modification of the original one proposed by Hem Tilk. Now, the circuit has an FIA Grade 1 license. The circuit holds a unique record of having at least one safety car appearance in every race to date. Now, there has been a total of 21 safety car deployments in 12 races. Is that good or bad?
Well, it can be a testament to how difficult the track is for the drivers, who are very much professionals. They still face challenges here.
I like that answer. Okay, so Wei Han, would you please do us the honor of talking us through one lap of the Marina Bay Street Circuit?
Absolutely, let's do it. So this is a driver in a Corvette C7R GT coming through the final corners as he's about to begin a hot lap here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit. Full throttle down the main stretch. So right here, you want to kind of pick up as much speed as possible, then go hard onto the brakes into turn 1, which is a kind of a 90-degree left-hander, followed by a series of 2 corners, which then sets you up towards the street portion of the circuit. So as he continues driving down this segment of the racetrack, trying to follow the line, going a little gentler on the brakes here. However, this corner, you have to get it right in order to get the best exit out to the longest stretch of the Marina Bay Street Circuit. This will be full throttle all the way down as he approaches the kink where it's also flat out. And this is where he'll try to optimize the speed as much as possible, then going on hard into the brakes into the second sector of the track where it's all about a series of hairpin S corners. Going along the exit here, trying not to take too much of the exit or that will invalidate your lap. A hard right turn, right hairpin here, going slowly. And then coming towards a similar left-hand corner where you don't want to exit too far wide out. This is the second or third DRS zone of the circuit, but of course with these GT cars, you don't get DRS. Going straight down here, plenty of overtaking opportunities until he comes to the sling, and then towards the section series of chicanes here, coming upon the narrowest portions of the track. This is the Anderson Bridge. And there will be a hard braking down into a left-hand hairpin. And this is where sometimes you have to be very careful when you apply the brakes. Coming on to another short stretch of a section, this is where he's about to round out the end of the second sector and optimizing his speed as much as possible, but be careful, you have to brake really early here in order to make it through this right-hand hairpin. Coming down to the third sector of this circuit, it's all about trying to find yourself, get yourself in the right rhythm of things, ensuring that you're braking at the right point because the walls are so close to you. It's a series of 90 degrees left and right as he comes upon this section where you then have to ensure that you brake in time to go under the grandstand. The first gear corner indeed. And you'll probably hear some echoes of the engine. So coming towards the final few corners, this is where the driver has to make it all count in order to hopefully get a purple sector. Got a good exit there out of the 90-degree corners. And then towards the final 2 corners, it's all about trying to carry as much speed as possible as he optimizes his exit. And this is a lap of the Marina Bay Street Circuit.
You know, I just got a bit dizzy just looking at all that. Sure. One thing I realized, is not only because it's being raced in the evening, but the number of chicanes and tight turns, the driver's going to get really the braking points will be very important, right? So this is a whole bit about it. So you see it, some people say it looks, the racetrack does look like something, I wouldn't say chicken drumstick, I was just joking. Don't come hungry. But anyway, just right. All right, we're going to go for another short commercial break, but don't touch that dial. When we come back, we'll talk more about the car. Welcome back. You're watching MSS eSports Championship 2022. My name is Zachary and that is Wei Han. Wei Han, we're going to talk more about the car. Today's car is the Corvette C7R GTE. All right, but I just need to let you know, in my head, Okay, when I saw C7R, automatically went to CR7. Okay, all of those football fans will know what, but I'll promise not to say much about it. So the car participants will be driving today is the Corvette C7R GTE. Now the Chevrolet Corvette C7R is a Grand Tourer racing car built by Pratt & Miller and Chevrolet for competition in enduring racing between the years 2014 and 2019. Now it is a replacement for the Corvette C6R racing car. Now using the C7 generation Chevrolet Corvette as a base, the C7 road car was noted to incorporate development from the Corvette C6R. Thus, those properties also carry over to the race car. Now, the Corvette Racing C7R raced in the WeatherTech Sports Championship in the GT Le Mans class. Wow, this is quite interesting, the Le Mans, right? You're talking about that. So, Wei-Han, have you driven this car before?
Yes, exactly. I have in fact driven this in Assetto Corsa. It's a very nice car to drive. So what's unique about this car, at least the class that it's in, is a GTE car. What that means is it stands for GT Endurance. It means that it's used for endurance races such as the Le Mans 24 Hours. But of course, specifically the teams who run this decide to run it for the North American IMSA WeatherTech Series car. So you don't really see it much in Europe or anywhere else. So if we do compare this against some of the GT3 cars that we're more used to, this car does not come with ABS. So drivers have to be careful with their brakes, but it still comes with traction control. So in that aspect, corner exit, it should still be fine. With these GTE cars, the straight line speeds are going to be quite intense. And obviously for a track like Marina Bay Street Circuit, it's very, very suitable. Now, the C7R was the last of the Corvettes to feature a front-mounted V8 engine, and more specifically for these racing variants, it was the last of the V8 cross-plane engine cars. That's why it sounds as though it's like an earthquake when you drive past one. Yes, because the newer C8R GT cars feature a mid-engine, flat-plane engine, but of course those cars are kind of not being raced in this event here today. This is still a fantastic car nonetheless. It's got a huge cult following indeed, and it is certainly going to grace the virtual Marina Bay Street Circuit here tonight, which we're all very excited to look forward to.
Yeah, looking at the aerodynamic shape of it, it's something that I would say I would like to drive one of these. Okay, and in terms of its performance-wise, but like you're saying, this car being chosen, all right, for the Marina Bay Circuit, I mean, I would see there'll be a lot of issues involved in terms of, because you got to get it right in terms of no ABS, traction, then speed, no proper braking zones and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah, but when I first tried the circuit on my own, I had that issues too, always like not breaking the right point. But I believe that these guys, they're professionals, they know what you're doing, so we don't have to worry about that, okay?
Absolutely.
So in terms of the handling wise, I would say that this will be slightly better than the GT3 cars, right? In that sense?
Not exactly. In fact,
Not
it's going to be
really?
worse handling than the GT3 cars
Oh
because you have less assist. It's more powerful. However, at the present day, you would also sometimes have situations where the slowest of the GTE cars would be kind of match paced with the fastest of the GT3 cars. So they're actually not too far apart. Whereas if you compare to GT4 cars, which are kind of another league of their own, those are very much derived of street cars, and they're meant for more gentleman drivers with kind of a slower pace of racing.
So it's basically like having a sports car, but not the sports car thing, but just that it looks like a sports car, but it doesn't perform like it.
Sure, it's meant to kind of feed in drivers into the higher ranks of the racing. Of course, GTEs, they're kind of the pinnacle of GT car racing at present.
Yeah, it's very nice. Right, look at it. Oh, you guys don't get too confused. This car will be on track. And the thing we're going to face is all going to be there. Okay, this is what's going to happen for both of us, because when we're running the commentary, all the cars will be in yellow. So, so he and I, we would have this arduous task of just trying to get the numbers right for the cars. But don't worry, that's our job. You just enjoy the race. All right, so those of you just join us, welcome. Now, all right, we'll be going for a short commercial break. And when we come back, we will be talking more about today's list of participants. So stay tuned. Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching MSS eSports Championship 2022. This is Zachary and Wei Han. All right, we're about to reveal to you the list of participants. Earlier on, we know these guys, again, out of name. And then what we'll do is we're going to take a look at the list right now. We have Brian Leong, Wilson Woon, Dexter Gismondo Jr., you have Vincent Pua, Gabriel Wee, Muhammad Hakimi, Ethan Yeo, Azrin Sholahin, we have Jaden Chia, Jins Mazvi, correct me, and Hidir Master bin Sajani. Now, some of the names that you've seen here, they are familiar names because they've been in other race platforms. But perhaps you would like to share some of the experience of these guys. I know there's one number 6 there. That catches our eye.
Yeah, so definitely very, very fast drivers here. I do definitely recognize some of them. I think with such a great composition, we'll definitely have an exciting race later on, yes.
Okay, of course, you know, these guys, I think they've been practicing, and it's very easy to say they have been racing, but when it comes to actual racing this time around, this being the national race, there's a lot riding in this competition. So this is not for the faint-hearted. Lots are going through it. Of course, you must understand that all these drivers, I think they have to go through it like a process. You know, talk us through the process, because this being the national, basically the overall winners will get an opportunity to represent us in the competition.
So in fact, the drivers who do make it through this race, they will then move on to the MSS Asia Pacific Racing Series, and at the same time, there will also be representation for the FIA Motorsports Games, which is definitely very exciting to see.
Wow, I mean, if I were in their shoes right now, I'd be quite nervous though, right? But actually, there is all these participants, there must be a way how they're being actually shortlisted, right? I mean, they have to like qualify certain other rounds of competition, and then in order to, I would say that this is the final round. If they get this right, they get to represent us.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's so stressful. These people are so stressful. Anyway, yep. For those of you just joined us, welcome. This is the MSS eSports Championship Round 1. All right, and on the screen right now, you can see our list of participants. These are the guys that will be racing each other in this first round. And like we said earlier on, the Marina Bay Street Circuit, all right, might sound very like normal street circuit, right? I've gone through it. It's not for the faint-hearted. Plus, on top of that, you're driving the Corvette. Correct me again, C7R. Yep. Sorry, a football fan. But anyway, the thing is this, all right, they're going to have lots of practice done earlier on, and this is it. This is the day itself. This is round 1 out of 3 rounds, and it's very important for them to garner as much points as possible. All right, now we'll be going for another short commercial break, so don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Air, fuel, spark, the trinity of power. You need all 3 to bring your engine to life. Kenny and Norm knew that, which is why for over 50 years, the company that bears their name has been re-engineering what filtration can do. Engineered to protect against dirt and scientifically proven to provide up to 50% more airflow. K&N, 50 years of performance and innovation.
Welcome back. You're watching MSS eSports Championships 2022. All right, Wei Han, questions for you now. Let's tinkle you, all right? So have you virtually raced on this circuit before?
I have done practice laps, unfortunately not a full-length race, but I know that's enough to kind of tell me that this track is not going to be easy. It's going to be quite challenging. Obviously, some things that drivers will have to look for is, you know, they have to get their braking points absolutely on point, or they'll find themselves in the wall because the walls are so close. And it's also about the race of attrition, because sometimes you're not just racing the cars alongside you, you're also racing against the track, and more importantly, you're racing against yourself.
Okay. All right. So on top of that, what are the benefits for the viewers? Because for example, some viewers, Singaporeans, of course, you're quite familiar. Everybody's watched F1,
Sure.
right? But maybe to share with us in terms, would you say that this circuit is a technical circuit?
Oh yeah, it is very technical because it very much relies on not just your driving ability, it's also how well you set the car up, because a lot of the corners demand that you set your chassis to such that it's more responsive. The corners are not exactly flowing, so there's a lot of demand on how well you're able to execute your driving skills and stuff like that. So it really pushes drivers to the limit. It's really all about how the man and machine can come together well in order to make it out of this on top.
Okay, so we say that the mastery of the general handling of the vehicle comes into play,
Yes.
which is very important, right? Right. Now, I would say that you have actually experience in racing as well as other championship. Maybe you want to walk us through and how will a person actually go through the motions in terms of preparing himself for one, let's say, a race such as this?
So usually it would help very much to put hours into practice. You have to definitely put the hours into practice. Firstly is to get to know the track. You new car, new track, you just get the lines right first. After that, it's all about bringing your conscious to your subconscious. So whilst you're first kind of responding to different corners as the track comes about, you want to then kind of burn that into your subconscious so that you know what happens when you come to this part of the track, what happens when you come to that part of the track, such that it becomes second nature. That takes a process, and that's something that drivers have to do if they want to do well.
So is that like a different way, or just like a standard fixed way? If you want to do this, you got to there's a certain fixed way of doing it, or it's just individual racers will have their own way of memorizing tracks?
I think it does. It just takes a little bit of time. I think some drivers will be able to recognize it from the track map, but for most of us, we prefer to actually drive it and kind of learn the track firsthand, and get a hang of it in such a way.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of these professional drivers. They go to one corner, they'll plug their ears, and they just sit in the corner there and just do all these action.
Yes.
Just much like flying, when they chair fly, we don't get the opportunity. But I think it actually works. But some people have different ways of it. They sometimes draw the circuit out just to get used to it and whatnot. But like you're saying, this car is going to be a little bit tricky.
Yes.
In terms of handling. I mean, for the guys, the first bit, what are the potential areas on this circuit that you think that would be best for overtaking in such a situation like this? I know you and I, we know there are certain tracks that you come and you look at it and say, okay, this is a circuit that's going to be very difficult to overtake in certain areas. But I believe in this track that's been designed to give maximum excitement for our racers and for the audience viewers as well. So maybe you want to share us where are the potential areas which would be good for overtaking. Now, of course, we have the straight end on the far right. That's the start bit. Then, of course, you have the simple, gentle chicane before making that turn, 180 degrees turn down to the left. So that is one of the areas where I think if you don't really negotiate the chicane properly, there could be an overtaking potential areas as well.
Yes.
Is there any other areas which you'd like to share with our viewers?
So I think some of the important corners to get right, first of all, is to get your exit right in preparation for the stretches. So obviously you have the main stretch, which is towards the main stretch itself. After that, you have the Raffles Boulevard, the long ones, and also the one around the paddock. So the corners, right before that, you have to get your exit right. You have to ensure that you exit the corner with enough speed, so that because these are big segments of the track, your lap times are very much pinned on how well you do those segments. Other places that that drivers might have to consider as well is I would think of one as being the end of the second sector. That means the Esplanade Bridge. Coming towards the end of Esplanade Bridge, you want to break that well in order to set yourself up for the third sector. It just so happens that certain places of the track it's not going to be so easy to overtake. Like the sling section, the stadium section, you will not be able to really pass that effectively on those sections.
So it's best to stay safe and just.
Yes.
Okay, but for this, looking at the car itself, but I don't know about the technical bit about this car. I mean, for the competitors, I know there are some games where the drivers can actually tweak the car.
Yes.
Yeah, but for this, in terms for AC, I mean, does the guy have any opportunity of tweaking the car at all? I think it's fixed, if not mistaken. The setting of the car is fixed, and I think they just this is the car. take it or leave it, all right? And that's all you need to do about that, all right? Okay, so I think we can see that it is going to be a really exciting race. I would like to say this evening. Wherever you are, you're
It's a night
watching
race.
us. I know it's a night race. This is the beauty about sim racing, isn't it? You know, of course, in reality, it takes a lot of work, logistics just to plan it, and that's the beauty of sim racing, isn't it? If you want to track, you want to race today, it's very easy. It's just a click of a mouse, okay, several clicks of the mouse, and then you get to go wherever you want to go. All right, so we need to check whether the session is on. Anyone else in terms of, I think the drivers are coming in, they're just warming up, you know, just like all the real races and whatnot, and they're just going to get themselves all psyched up. Now, talking about psyching up, I mean, you do your race, you know, you get nervous. I do get nervous as well. So what would you recommend in terms? I know there are people have their own way of actually calming the nerves just before entering a competition. What would you do? You listen to music?
I mean, usually whenever I enter races, it's you know, I just kind of register for it 5 minutes before a session.
5 minutes before the session.
That's how it works on iRacing. But
Okay.
of course, you have to enter the race knowing that if you have done the practice, nothing will go wrong. But of course, when things go wrong, you know,
It'll go wrong.
yes. I think, you know, just being aware of, you know, how I guess how you're able to respond to situations which you probably least expect. Building up safe distances ahead of drivers, and also ensuring that you have the pace to kind of carry yourself through sufficiently. Everyone will get nervous during the start of a race, but it gets easier over time.
Yeah, I think the preparation in terms of a race like that is no difference as well. I mean, you don't expect being able to withstand the G-forces in the weather because, you know, you could be at home with the air condition on, who knows. But I think the interesting bit about all this is that the skills that they pick up, you know, is actually transferable. Yeah. And that's one thing a lot of people didn't understand. Is that, oh, it's just a game. Yeah, I know my era is all about arcade and go-kart, right? You just drive. But this is really, I mean, I had an opportunity to sit in a rig once, and I was like, man, why did they make the brakes so hard and tight? And you realize that, oh, this is how actually it goes, you know, and this is how bad it got. So in terms of that, I think it's an eye-opener. It actually is quite sociable. It gives you an opportunity to work at the same time, and at the same time to get a chance. Because those days, if you want to race, it's not easy. You know, we don't have that opportunity like those days. We only have to watch whatever that's on the screen right now, and that's not. But if you are going to do this, no, we got to do it right. Looking at this, for example. Okay, we know it's simulated, but look at it. It is. I mean, in terms of it, it can get really, really realistic. And I used to joke and poke fun around with some of the drivers and ask them, how real is this? And those guys actually raced it. They say, I can see that scratch mark on the wall. I say, you did that? No, really. So they are just trying to get into the game about it. But I think I've seen some of them. It's really the whole way you work yourself through, being able to, I think, pick up the necessary skills from there. And if an opportunity calls, right, and you get a chance to actually go into an actual car, I would say like you were saying, memorizing the circuit, you know, knowing where the best place to overtake, you know, understanding the vehicle and whatnot. So I think that the pressure will not be as much as compared to those days when you just step in and the guy tells you, okay, you only have this amount hour of time to race in this truck. Oh, by the way, if you hit the curb here and there, whatever it is, right, the bill's on you.
Yes, that's true.
Right. And those days, I remember people are racing and then they just hit the side. Okay, that's it. That's the car. I mean, but at least for sim racing, it's totally different.
Yes.
And I think these guys know. I know these guys have been putting hours for the training itself. I just can't wait for them to really get ready and stuff. In terms of basically, for the drivers, like you said, if they've been driving the circuit, they know what to look out for. You know, just they have to actually, I would say, work on their nerves as well in terms of understanding how to go about doing this. But I mean, did you wish that you'd be racing this instead?
I mean, I think I've come to a point where I understand that I'll never be there in terms of pace. So I just decided to explore the other areas of sim racing.
Let's try now again the big thing. All right. So it's very important for you to actually go up. Okay. So all right. Let's see. All right. You know what? Don't go away. The practice qualifying session is about to start. But before that happens, here's a word from one of our sponsors.
Introducing the world's most versatile phone case. Be more productive and put information where you need it. Get directions out of harm's way. And even wirelessly charge on the go. Improve your game and bring the tunes on and off the course. Equip yourself with the tools you need because you have better things to hold on to. Ride in style with peace of mind. And be your best time. Go beyond protection at rockform.com.
Okay, welcome back. You are watching round 1 of the inaugural MSS eSports Championship 2022. My name is Zach. This is Wei Han. Wei Han, you got something to tell us, to share us about cars.
Yeah, so one of the interesting things about this car that will be used, as we've shared earlier on, is that, as we know, it has a cult following in the Americas and all of the sports car community in general.
Because it's a Corvette?
Yes, exactly, because it's a Corvette. And
because it's a Corvette.
I think some of the reasons, it's kind of a hallmark of what Americans would expect from American racing cars. You've got the deep engine V8s, the ones which make an earthquake every time you drive past it. But yeah, what's interesting is this Corvette is developed in conjunction with this engineering company called Pratt & Miller. So they started off as racing teams for Corvette. Afterwards, they in fact did branch out to various other industries such as defense. And what's interesting is, in fact, when Pratt & Miller developed they developed some military systems such as artillery detection systems, missile detection systems. They share that technology with their Corvettes, which kind of detect when someone behind is going to come and overtake you.
Ah, that's interesting.
Because this is very important when you're racing a Le Mans or let's say Sebring 12 hours or all those endurance races, you're spending many hours in the car and you want to know if the car coming behind you, where exactly they are. Are they a class on top? That means you have to let them go, or are they a class below, which means you can just continue racing. So these are all some interesting information that I kind of learned along the way about this car. Yeah.
Wow. So it's like basically, you had this kind of like a fighter pilot knows there's someone at 6 or something like that. So, but wouldn't that add to the stress when the drivers, because I realized that they have this amount of information, and it really baffles me how they keep their cool under such tremendous things. It looks like you can hear them on the background. Though. Like everyone is screaming, it crashes here and there, and the guy is going there. How is he? Is he okay? All right. Yeah, that's good. Anybody hurt? No? All right. How far is the car, man? And here they're going. It's amazing, like a kind of like a narrow vision tunnel in terms of that. So, but for example, how long does it take for a person to actually get adjusted to a new car on average?
Well, in sim racing?
Yep.
Yes. For me, it would usually take me a week to get a hang of it, because then again, in sim racing, you have a wide variety of car classes, different cars, and each car has, even some cars may be more similar to others, but they still kind of bring along a bit of different handling characteristics. So specifically with this Corvette, because of the way the engine is, because of the way the car layout is, front engine and all, front mid-engine rather, you will find that it is a little more stable when you turn in as compared to maybe the Ferraris or the Porsches GTEs that you race also. Also, right, the way the engine is, the torque curve of the engine, that means at what RPM do you get the most torque. In these cars, it's a little lower. What that means is you can actually short shift on the exit. You can get away with going 1 gear high. Let's say you exit a corner. Some drivers, they like to use the trick of just shifting up before exiting the corner. Yes, that prevents wheel spin, and that also ensures that you still have power to kind of push the car through.
Okay, I think you just found out exactly what the mistake I did earlier on. Right? Spin. I couldn't put my head around it. Okay, that could be it. I love that I spoke to you much earlier on this. But anyway, like you said, the whole thing is this. Is anyone's guess. A race is a race.
Yes.
All right. As much as preparation you can put into it. All right. Something is gonna happen. It's not like okay. They won't call it the host jinxing or anything like that. No. Not that concerned. But it's just that it's the nature, the whole excitement about the race. Because every time you say you are never fully prepared. things come in different situations. You know, you might, like if you've seen on F1 races and whatnot, you think X is going to win, all of a sudden Y wins it, and we don't think that Y will win. But it's not that in that case, because like they say, it's unpredictable, and that's all about racing, isn't it? It adds on to the adrenaline, gets you all excited, makes you want to scream and shout. But we understand we have to control ourselves because we are the host. But then we can scream later on to see how the race progresses as well. But for those of you who just joined us, welcome. This is round one of the inaugural MSS eSports Championship 2022. All right, this is Zachary and this is Wei Han. All right, now in a short moment, we are going to go to the qualifying rounds, and we'll see some of our competitors. They'll be getting ready. As a matter of fact, I think they're getting ready right now to go racing, as you said. All right, in terms of it. So just to let you know roughly how the timing wise. Okay, we'll start off with a first practice session. That session takes 15 minutes. Just to give them an opportunity to warm up and whatnot. Then of course there's 10 minutes for qualifying one, first round. Race one is 20 minutes. Yep. 20 minutes, we won't call it sprint, right?
Well, it is a sprint.
Okay, see, he's the expert, I'm not. All right, then of course, the next segment we have around the practice session 2. Now that is only 5 minutes because how many times you're going to go down?
Yes.
Right? Okay, then of course the second qualifying, that's also 10 minutes. Of course, race 2 will be 40 minutes. All right. So of course we understand there's a lot of excitement. There's only 2 races, but these guys know there's a lot riding. Okay, a lot at stake here. An opportunity for 2 guys to capture their elusive position to come represent us on the grand scheme of things, the big, huge competition. How big is this competition actually? This one that they're competing for, the Asia Pacific. With around, everyone's competing together. You give me that look. I mean, it looks very big, right? I know. I just kind of wonder the amount of pressure the people are right now. It's okay, it's casual, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun doing this race. So okay, all right. Now later on, after the race, okay, we're just going to talk about your gut, about how race 1 went, race 2. Then later on, you can pick your favorite race. That's all we usually do. No betting, of course. We're just going to talk more about it, all right? But looking at the list of the competitors earlier on, do you have a favorite?
Well,
Don't worry, I won't get you in trouble.
I think I'm equally confident in everyone's abilities to perform well, so I think it will be very much early to say until the checker flag is over.
I like your answer. All right, okay, and of course there's no surprises. Previous competition you always have issues with the weather. We've been told the weather is nice, perfect for racing. All the guys should be very happy right now. Of course, me being who I am, I was thinking of snow in Singapore, but of course it'll never happen. Anyway. All right.
Well, you can make that happen in AC.
No, don't get me going. No. Of course, no. We're not that cruel, okay? We're not that cruel. We try and make it as realistic as possible. But yes, no problems with the weather. All right. Just you, the car, and the opportunity. All right. And whatever happens on the racetrack, to all our participants, okay, good luck to you. May the best men win. I just hope for the day we have like women competing as well. That'd be good. I mean, the best men and women win. But of course, for those of you, this is the bit. This is a lot riding right now. I mean, we look very calm, but actually, between us, I think we're all very, very edgy and nervous right now because it's a lot riding in this competition. So if you just joined us, lucky you. You didn't have to go through all the stress and everything. But don't touch that dial, because what's going to happen is that we're going to come to the qualifying pretty soon. But we're going to talk more about this now. For this competition, I mean, MSS has, as I would say, very meticulously thought out which circuit to use. Because right, there's a lot of circuits there, and this being MSS, we rightfully so to have our own Marina Bay a street circuit. But for your own experience, right? You've driven for AC as well. I mean, in terms of the platform.
I've driven numerous times. I think it's mostly I would do hot laps practicing there, because the thing with the upside with AC is you can get any kind of track that you want.
Wow, that's a big
whatever,
deal, isn't it?
whatever
right?
that exists, you have it.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's different. I mean, how much of the technical side that the person needs to know. In those days where it's very simple. It's not you dropped in like a 50-cent coin and then you just play. But this the drivers actually have an opportunity to actually tweak their cars, like tweak the weather, and do all that stuff. But it is, say for example, someone starting off on a new game platform. Is there like a tutorial a person goes through or something like that, or just go on YouTube and everything will be solved?
Just YouTube.
Just
go on
YouTube.
YouTube. Nowadays, yeah.
You heard that, all right? If there's anything that you're not too sure about, you just go onto YouTube. Chances are you'll be able to pick up some pearls of wisdom to learn how to race on any platform, so to speak. But today's platform will be interesting because I think all the drivers here are, I would say, equally experienced on this sim platform. But then again, familiarity has its problems. You might be so relaxed, thinking, I've raced on this platform before, so it shouldn't be any issues. Then of course, lo and behold, something happens, and then things starts going awry, and it's crazy as well. So just a quick check with the team. Is anything all going through? The guys are all done with their practice and all that. All right. Okay. And then of course, they're just doing some last minute checking in terms of the technical bits and whatnot. Right. For those of you just joined us, welcome. This is MSS eSports Championship 2022. Okay, we are here to get you all riled up and excited because it is certainly going to be a very, very exciting race, so to speak. We have got all these competitors, right? Some of the names might be new to you, but some of the names are seasoned because they've done it before. But doesn't mean that experience pays. Sometimes they say luck. Now, I didn't quite believe on that, but here we can look at it. It's usually come. Okay, you just step over here on this side, and we can see here some of the cars are on the track right now doing some practice, and I can attest to that growl you're saying.
Yes.
Man, gives you all that adrenaline rush in your head. Look at that. Okay, then we have Ethan Yo right now. This is Ethan. He's driving that. Ooh, look at that grunt. For this car, so you're just saying this car is very powerful, right? So, but the thing is that I know a certain part of the racetrack, I noticed there's a lot of turns. If you don't handle it properly, then it feels like you're being withheld.
Yes. I think especially with this car, it's all about, you want to get to use all the power, so you have to be able to handle it well in order to use the power that's available in the car. I think with this track, it's absolutely fine because there are long segments, and that's where this car can come fully alive.
All right. Look at that, if you just join us, yes, don't adjust your volume. That is the sound, the growl of the Corvette C7R GTE. My goodness. I just have to wait if one of my neighbors buys this car and starts to reverse spin coming in the middle of the night. Okay, so, yep. So all what happens right now here is you're seeing the inside of the car itself. And you did point out correctly that they have to be really precise because the walls at the side is very dangerous. I've seen some of the cars because of the tight turns that they do, and they tend to graze at the side. And with cars coming like 3 cars or 2 cars abreast and doing a very tight turn together, not getting enough space, that could lead to a lot of issues, right?
Yes. I think with these GTE cars, tin-top cars in general, it's not too much of an issue even if you do graze the wall because, as with GT cars, with tin-top cars, rubbing is racing.
Yes. Yeah. It's okay to rub me. Yeah. Rub the wrong way.
So yeah, I think that's one advantage you have when you race with these GTRs as compared to maybe Formula cars or even prototypes. Those cars have to be very careful with those.
You mentioned that these cars don't have ABS.
Yes.
But in the traction bit, maybe you want to explain it to the viewers the difference between having ABS and having traction.
Well, very simply, ABS means having ABS, it prevents your wheels from locking up. So obviously, all road cars have it nowadays as a basic safety feature. But racing cars at the very top level don't necessarily have that because it makes you somehow it just allows you more control over the brakes. Because when you have ABS, it kind of cuts in to your braking, and because with GT3 cars, you can just kind of step the pedal all the way in and then release it slowly. With this GTE cars, right, maybe go maximum 70% on the brakes, then slowly ease off. You don't go all the way down.
Okay. We learn new things always. So basically, these guys are just going through their paces right now, trying to one thing, warm up their thighs, one thing at the same time, but also get a chance to do it because. Okay. So now if looking at the cars itself, I think the important thing that the audience need to know is that even though practice session works out, okay, this octave, basically the important bit is the next thing is the qualifying. Now the qualifying is important because whoever wins will get the front of the grid, right? So you have clean air right in front of you, no one's blocking you. Hopefully if you play your cards right, it's a woohoo all the way. But then of course you and I know things happen, you never know. So I think the guys are going to give it all they've got. Now I don't know personally about the timing for one lap around. Do you have any mind on it? I know we'll know when you get the timing. As you can see, these guys are going. I'm not mistaken. There are a couple of fast races in that team in the participant list as well. All right. So before we carry on with all the excitement, let's get ourselves prepared for the warm-up style. We're going to go for a very short commercial break. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Air, fuel, spark, the trinity of power. You need all three to bring your engine to life. Kenny and Norm knew that, which is why for over 50 years, the company that bears their name has been re-engineering what filtration can do. Engineered to protect against dirt and scientifically proven to provide up to 50% more airflow. K&N, 50 years of performance and innovation.
Welcome back. You're watching MSS eSports Championship 2022. This is Zachary and there's Wei-Han. We are waiting patiently, anxious for the race. I think the participants are all geared up and ready. Some of them are already doing their little practice round around the practice track. So of course they are also getting some little heat, warming their tires up, so to speak. Now right now the frame of mind is important. For the racers right now for something. How do they actually clear their minds completely and just focus on this race alone? How would you do it?
Yeah, I think one of the things that's very important is to understand what's within your control and what's not within your control, and what can you do in order to prevent the likelihood of things happening. So obviously, what's within your control, how well you handle the car. But then sometimes you have to try your best to avoid things that happen in front. Obviously, that's kind of one of the strategies that you would do in order to ensure that you have a safe race.
All right, so we are going to take a look at this right now. Once again, all the guys are on the track right now. Like, okay, if you're asking us this question, why are all the cars yellow? We said much earlier on, we can't change the color, it's just yellow. Just bear with us as we try to take you through the race itself. We have to take a look at the numbers as well. We know what the competitors are ranked. Right now on the list, you got Mars Vilton, Ethan Yeo, you got Ethan Hua, Hakimi, Jun, Jaden, Wilson Woon, and of course Desmondo Jr. and of course Gabriel Wee. Now all these guys are now going through their practice, and we're just at the out lap right now. And look, this looks familiar. Yeah, it does. I've been to this place. Mars Vilton right now going through chicane, being followed closely, if not mistaken, by Hua, who right now I would say it's open, right? I mean, right now the race is fully open. You won't know whoever has because we haven't seen the timings yet, so we won't know. And then we have on screen right now. Look at the focus. All right. Yeah, the drivers right now, they are so focused. I mean, I can look at Ethan right now. Look, right now it's like someone walked past them, you wouldn't even know. I can imagine right now, that's the beauty about sim racing, isn't it? Hanging a do not disturb sign behind your door there. They're telling your parents, please, I do not want to be disturbed. I'm involved in a race. Well, these, I would say there's lots running through, like you say, the preparation, the confidence, you know. And also, we know these guys are hardcore racers. They could be up just a couple of hours ago racing on another platform. I've spoken to a lot of these drivers, and some of them are totally amazing. I just wonder how they get all their energy from. I mean, you ask me right now, like, I don't sleep for like a couple of hours, I'll be totally dazed and riding at this kind of speed right now. But as you can see, you brought up earlier on quite roughly, the walls are very close, so the guys have to be very, very precise in terms of positioning their cars right now. And going through it, there's a lot of turns, the chicane and whatnot, and to juggle it with all the other competitors as well, it's going to be very, very difficult for them. And whoever gets the first two position in front of the grid will certainly enjoy the opportunity there right now. So when the night race first started, right, in the back of my mind, everyone was thinking, oh, night race, not right. Boy, were they wrong. Because I think all the tire companies are complaining about the number of tires that they had to change because the heat was crazy. It was when I was high, 40 over degrees. Can you imagine that? I live in a point in the year where like 28 degrees Celsius was hot already, you know. Yeah, but nowadays like 35 degrees, you know, and it's crazy, and it does affect the performance and whatnot in terms of the car. But these guys know there's a lot riding on it. Okay, I think being there's a national championship, they really have to give it all they've got. All right.
So as we talk the drivers through qualifying, we can have a look at how the drivers stand amongst one another. So obviously currently in provisional pole is Ethan Yeo with a 2:26.577, which is really a decently fast lap time. So the next fastest driver is of course must be with a 2:29. So obviously with just about 5 minutes or so of qualifying left, that would probably allow the drivers 2 more laps to run and get themselves the best starting point for race 1. They will definitely have to push quite a lot here. I think if there are other cars, I think some drivers would also take advantage of the slipstream in order to get you the additional pace to push your lap time out just a little bit. But of course right now it's all about you, your own car and your own lap time. So this is Ethan Yeo. He's going to come across the start-finish line and he comes on with a 2:11.845. That puts him up in pole with Masvi just about behind in 2:12.473.
Yep. Well, you can see it's quite close actually, when almost a second, but we understand that things might change later on, and these guys are all really focused. And we have Gabriel Wee, who's currently right now, we had like lap time 2 minutes 54.278. That was what he did earlier on. So yeah, great dude. So let's see the races right now. Well, the thing's different, isn't it? When you're looking at it, it looks as though there's so much space. Right, but inside, it's a different story altogether. So you can see these guys are serious, you know, with gloves and everything on and whatnot. They're going all the way. And yeah, you can see the timings are all like 2.11.8 for this is Ethan, 2:12 for Jaden, 2:12 for Mars Wilton as well. And they're not that far though. I would say it's just warming up.
I think it's past the midpoint of the qualifying, so drivers need to be setting down their hot laps, their fastest lap times. And of course, they are in fact trying their best too. So you could expect that they'll have probably 2 more laps to go for qualifying. So this is Dexter Gismundo Jr. His lap time, of course, he will probably try to set himself a fastest lap time to get himself in position. So right now, of course, the time to beat for the drivers in general is 2:11.8 if you want a chance, if you want a shot at the pole position.
I think these guys are all saving it for the end right now. Looking at the quite like Wilson Woon hasn't clocked anything yet. Hopefully there's nothing, no technical issues. Can't wait for him to jump on board as well. But yeah, you can see that I just see Jaden just finished serving a penalty or something like that. I was in a pit stop. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. But then again, there we have Wilson Woon currently right now. Going about his qualifying lap, but then again they only have a short span of time to try and make the best time for them, and all the best to all of them as well. But the current time to beat right is 2 minutes 11.176 seconds clocked by Ethan Yeo. So looks like Ethan is holding on tight.
Yeah, tight indeed. So, of course, with every passing lap that Ethan does, he's trying to build himself as great of a margin as possible to hold on to his pole position, which is, of course, very important. A bit of lockup there. See, that's what happens when you don't have ABS. You see the smokes coming out. Yeah. I think, of course, you can counter that with adjusting your brake bias a little more rearwards so that you do kind of slow down a little bit more effectively.
That's where the skill comes in, right? I mean, the experience and all the hours put into it. And yeah, you can see in terms of a person driving, whether dry weather, wet weather, all sorts of weather, you can see a person's skill from them in performing. So, yep. And here we have, in terms of Mars Wilton, really serious focus. Look at him right now. I've spoken to him personally. Always a smiley guy, but not when he's racing, of course. I know what he is. But yeah, it's quite exciting for them to see that. I mean, this is important because look at the clock right now. I've got 1 minute 58 seconds left. So hopefully Wilson Woon is really pounding the track right now to get his qualifying, or unless it's just what happens. I mean, if you just relax, right, I'll get it anyway. Let's work on the race.
I mean, there have been stories of people overtaking from the rear to win the race, but of course that requires a lot of skill.
Yeah, who knows? You know, like they got some Sifu driving on the back. I was saying, you go forward, young man, and create the havoc there. Clear the pathway for me, and then I'll see it.
Right. Yeah. So coming on towards the final minute of qualifying rather soon. Cross drivers, a bit of a bump on the wall there.
Yeah.
So of course that's that you're using the exit. He's using the exit well. Yeah. You get full use of what the track offers. So good use of the exit curves there. This is Jaden. He will come across the start finish line. Will he improve his lap time? 2:12.456. He does.
Yeah.
Not unfortunately, and he still retains his third position.
So bad. But Mars Wilton did a good job though. He actually bettered his time. Now he's at 2 minutes 11.555 seconds. So he's not that far behind Ethan Yeo. So I think we have also been run through in there. So would they be able to capitalize on that? That needs to be seen. But it's quite exciting right now. Oh, I can feel goosebumps right now. I'm getting all exciting right now. All these. Ooh. No. Okay, we have Muhammad Hakimi. Current now, previous time 2 minutes 13.347 seconds. This is the last opportunity for him to clock a better time. There's only 18 seconds left on the clock. Will he be able to better his time? Because currently he's in 5th position with 2:13.347 behind Poir of 2 minutes 13.109. So can he? This is Brian Leong. Currently in 6th position. He clocked a time of 2 minutes 14.300 seconds. Currently in 6th position behind Hakimi. So will he be able to do one better? It remains to be seen. Alright, so the clock has stopped. I think whoever has done the best right now, I think would be for Ethan. All right, kudos to Ethan Yeo. Not too bad. It's interesting to see because of the scene. You don't see the speed because everyone is all going about on their own in terms of qualifying. But now I just can't wait to see where the all mayhem. Okay, I'm not an evil man. All right. But I think that's the whole bit about the starting bit when you get all excited in terms of that. For those of you who just joined us, you are watching MSS eSports Championship 2022. That is Zachary and we are waiting for the start of race 1. Now, race 1 is 20 minutes. All right, it's in a sprint race, and we've seen much early on in terms of the qualifiers. Of course, we have Ethan Yeo in the front, followed by Mars Wilton. And again, of course, we have the rest will follow suit when we get the full list of who is in which position. But like we said earlier on, this will be a quick start, I would say. They will try and break as much and open up the gap between themselves as much as possible, because I think down that straight is important is before they start going to their first left-hand turn, little squeezy bit before they make that 180 down south, I would say down south all the way. and they'll have that whole stretch to try and build up that lead before they go into the little tiny kinks here and there. It's amazing how you guys can just race in between there. I tried it. I told you I hit the wall so many times. It's so embarrassing. It's not good, right? So okay, we are going to have all these exciting bits. So as we can see now, right now, we're back on the screen, and this who is this? Yeah, we have Gabriel Wee. All right, and Gabriel Wee just finished off his qualifying, and we need to see this. All right, okay. And in terms of that, all right, we are just waiting the race. All the guys are just doing a last-minute check of their equipment. All right, take a sip of water. No breaks right now for you because it's seated in there, unless you want to have a full start. But yes, we're just waiting. What's your thoughts right now after looking at the qualifying?
Yeah, I think, of course, first and foremost, the format of the race will, of course, bring about some interesting ways of doing things. So, obviously, this is a double-header race, sprint race 20 minutes, followed by a full-length 40-minute race. So, obviously, the first 20-minute race is where drivers will really push to the best because it's just 20 minutes, you do all you can. Afterwards, towards the second race where it's 40 minutes, that's where drivers will have to think a little bit more about how to drive, longevity and stuff like that. That's where drivers will have a bit of strategies coming into play. So expect the racing in race 1 to be a little more intense, and then race 2 to be more interesting.
That's right. I think also in terms of the excitement and the pit stop strategies, all that will come in more. But like you said, for this first race, it's the, like in Chinese say, it's the Chiong period. No? Yes. Everybody just go all hell's break loose. But if you just join us, we are watching right now race number 1 of MSS eSports Championship 2022. We are about to flag off. If your guess is as good as mine, I am on my edge. I can feel the adrenaline, and they're off right now. Hear that roar right now. Amazing roar. Ethan Yo goes straight ahead right now. Yeehaw! All the way. He's really building up a gap right now. Right there. Oh my goodness, look at that.
So Ethan has just pulled himself a great advantage over everyone else. He's got a 1 second of an advantage ahead of Masvi, who leads the rest of the pack. So we can see that many of the drivers are clustering up in the middle from positions 4 down to 7, and that's where some overtaking action will happen. We're riding on the chase camera of Ethan Yo, and we'll just observe how he's going to defend his newfound advantage that is just built up off the start. He had a very excellent start.
You know, what's bothering me right now, that the road's arrow are pointing the opposite direction. I mean, it's very odd. But it's really, look at that, it's really trying all the best right now to win. And it's really exciting. Just join us. We are looking at Ethan Yo, who qualified first in the qualifiers. Right, currently right now he's building up a pace and distance between himself and Mars Bilton, around 1.2 seconds. All right, but this is still early. This is a 20-minute round. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think if we have a look at the timing tower, you can just see that many drivers are indeed compressed around the middle of the grid. So, of course, Masvi's job is to make Ethan's life as hard as possible, and he's obviously trying his best to do that. So as he comes towards the slower part of the circuit, now going into the third sector, he's going to try to reduce that 7/10 of a second advantage down as much as possible. So, we would probably see kind of a couple of separate battles taking place. It seems like someone must have made a little bit of mistake there. It seems that some drivers have kind of fallen off behind in the grid, but of course this is Ethan will continue to lead the grid towards the end of the first lap.
Yeah, there's lots of things in action right now. If you just joined us, this is just race from the inside of Ethan Yo's car. And looking in the back right now, Mars Bilton is certainly not waving at him. He's going to try and close up the gap between himself and Ethan. What a train. Ethan's really trying all out right now. He knows this is an opportunity. If he takes up clean air in front, no obstacle. It's only him and the elements, right? But of course, you know Mars Bilton. I know Mars Bilton personally. I've spoken to him. He's a very, very tough rat. He likes to push it to the limit. Which racer, when you don't push it, you won't be called a racer at all. So he's just trying to open up the gap, but it's still early in the race. You can see the closing gap between Mars Bilton right now in terms of Kwa and Brian in third and fourth.
So battle still ensues between the first and second place. We can see some of the drivers a little bit further behind in the background, but of course the main contention, the most contentious part is still this pointy end of the grid. Yeah, I think Masvi is trying as much as possible to close that gap. This is a long stretch. Is he able to get some slipstream?
Looks like it. Is it close enough? Oh, look at that. Trying to close that gap between himself there. Oh, maybe on the onside, on the outside. Not too soon though. Oh, he's trying to pull up right now, things alongside him. There's Jaden. Got Jason Chia has just overtaken Gabriel Wee, I'm not mistaken. And now they're going down. It's still too soon because you know there's a lot of turning back and forth here. Hopefully just overtaking him from the side, right? On the outside. Oh.
So you can see the drivers making their way down this segment of the track. This is the Singapore Sling, right? Yeah. It was.
No, the little brick wall in front of there, you can see them, yeah.
Okay, as they approach the hairpin, it's going to be very much important to get your line right and then your launch right as Jaden gets a good exit off the corner. Jaden leads 2 other drivers behind, of course with quite a decent advantage ahead of positions 7 and 8.
Right, lots happening right now in front, but you know that they're looking at the time right now. Mars Bilton is really trying to close the gap between Ethan, whether or not he can get a slipstream is another thing. And when we have Vincent Pua, he looks rather relaxed, no one. I would like to race like that. I don't know. Cappuccino on the side or something like that. But anyway, you can just join us. Welcome. This is the MSS eSports Championship 2022. This is race 1. Currently, we have Ethan Yeo and leading, followed by Mars Bilton, Brian Jun, and Vincent Pua. And Hakimi's still in 5th position. His team hasn't changed at all in the mid-pack. But lots happening right now. They're just trying to close up the gap. My goodness, that's Vincent Pua. This is the strategy in the back of your mind right now. You know, watch how every individual racer is racing and try to figure out what's the best way to point of attack.
So of course, the Corvettes in general, they are kind of in the motorsports world, they're dubbed the missile. Because it sounds like a missile, it goes like a missile, and turns like a missile too.
I know. I get a nice little grunt from the engine. This growl is really like really and you have Vincent Pua. He makes it look so easy, so relaxed. I feel like I should relax as well. Yes, not much change. 1.2 seconds behind Ethan Yeo. That's the time of Mars Bilton. Brian also coming around 8 seconds behind Ethan. So looking at that right now, they are trying to close. This is where the race starts to go and they start to cluster together. You know, you have like internal competition as well. So Vincent Pua, who clocked 2 minutes 15.827 his lap, and here we have his rear end. He is having Hakimi closing up on him, I'm not mistaken. And this is Brian Leong. Okay, Brian currently right now has Vincent Pua trying to close up the gap between him. And yes, we look at that. It's just really going out on it. And these guys are, I don't know what's going on right now. Currently right now we have looking on 2 seconds left. And not much changes at the front. What do you think? Ethan has got nothing in front of him. He's like running away, man.
Yeah, I think it's good that Ethan is now trying to maintain his race lead, which is very important. He's doing his job absolutely right there. Because Masvi will still try his best to put as much pressure as possible, because I think when you're the car in front, sometimes your rear view mirror can be a little bit distracting. Yeah. It's up to you to see how you're able to kind of manage that.
Okay, yeah, Vincent, wow, trying to close up again. Look at that, there's such a bunch of tussle on the side there. Hakimi and Brian, they are trying to get close right now, all bunched up in one corner there. Can they actually make their way up? No, he's opening up that bit stick, man. Got to turn on his headlights though, but when it's done there. It's night, right? Turn on your headlights, young man. No, I'm just joking. Alright, and so there's lots happening. These 3 cars are clustered together. You got Brian, Vincent, Hakimi. They're all mixed up together. They are trying very hard to try and open. Oh, that was close. What was he thinking? Think about it, that was avoiding.
Right, the Americans call it bump drafting.
Yeah, but it's a sport. We have a sport for it. Miami, the way. Oh my goodness. Then we have Vincent Pua trying to pull away from Jaden. And then we have here number 4. Yeah, Vincent Pua. Swinging around the line is Hakimi. Can he? He's currently like overtaken Vincent. He's trying to open up that gap between himself. He's really flooring the car right now around this bend, but he needs to be very tight in the racing line. Ooh.
So Ethan has quite a lot of work to do to fend off the second place driver, Masvi, who has just found some pace. Yep. So obviously, on the rear view mirror of Ethan is going to be quite busy, especially with those yellow headlights glaring at you.
Look at that. 7-10 seconds. I'm coming to get you, Ethan.
Do you know why these headlights are yellow and not white?
Oh, please tell me.
Yeah, so basically in endurance racing, obviously in let's say Le Mans, you have prototypes and you have GT cars. So prototypes will usually have white headlights and GTE cars would have yellow headlights. This is to distinguish them, especially at night.
Ah, see, I tell you, learn new things along the way. That's why you're the expert and I just follow you. Anyway, it's just a yellow. Let's wait for another colored car right now. Yoo-hoo, I'm blinking. If you just joined us, this is the MSS eSports Championship 2022. Lots happening right now on the track. This is race number 1, 11.1 seconds left on the track. Ethan Yeo is in front with Mars Wilton falling behind a 4/10 of a second. He's not giving up. He's going to slipstream. Possibly, I wouldn't know, but he's definitely not going to give up right now. Ethan has a lot to do right now because he can't afford to make a mistake right now. Because if he makes a mistake right now, it's definitely Mars Wilton going to overtake him right now. So any error is to be avoided.
I like how Masvi has the high beams on.
Yeah. You know how we all drive right in the highway, start flashing people, but they say it's rude, but not in the race. I think move aside if you can't go.
So of course, in such a situation, it's more comfortable to be the second place driver in the driver behind because you get to play all kinds of mind tricks against the car in front of you, in hopes that that you do get an opportunity to overtake. But of course, Ethan is holding his ground absolutely well here. The difference between them is just 0.3 of a second, and he will still continue to carry this on. We are about to approach the halfway point of the race, and I think the rhythm of the race has shaped out to be excellent so far.
Yeah, I know. And it's just a battle between the first and second right now, and the rest are just taking a back seat. We're looking at the time right now between Brian Jun. Okay. Oh, well, Joshua, I didn't know about the headlights too, but we learn new things. Yep. Oh, prototype white lights, right? GTE is yellow. So what about GT3s and 4? Now they're
GT3
all right.
is still white light, yeah.
Purple light. Yeah, and then pink light or something like that. I'm not so sure. As you can see, there's lots of action right now. Kind of open up a little bit, but I think Mars is just holding back a little bit, waiting for an opportunity, trying to force him into an error right now. It's still early, but a lot of things can happen. We won't know anything about that. So these two guys are head to head. They are trying to make, and hopefully that one of them will make a mistake. But in such a national competition such as this, there's a lot riding. You try to minimize your mistake, the unforced errors as well. So Ethan Yeo right now currently on the top and leading, and he is time was 2 minutes 11.634 early on in terms of lap time, so not too bad. So all right. I know what's up with Desmondo Jr. as well, but he's basically pit. I think he's got some issues. Hopefully he's not nothing serious. There's a big race involved. And Jaden Chia right now, currently in 6th position. Trying to close the gap in there long. Williamson and Vincent. Oh, look at that. Oh, that was close.
See, it's all about making full use of what the track offers you. They offer you a wall, use the wall. They offer you...
Seriously? Use the wall. Okay, fine, right. My generation is we avoid the wall.
that only applies to tin top cars though, when you have to get it right.
Yeah, and here we have Gabriel Wee, Jay Wee, currently in 7th position. He's trying to close out the gap between himself and Jaden. It's quite a far gap. So it's a lot of work he has to do just to close up the gap between himself and Jaden. But lots of actions happening at the top, first and second right now, a difference of 1.5 seconds. But interesting, from Brian June right now, it's like 16.8 seconds. Talk to me.
Yeah, I think it's, drivers are still settling down into their paces, so obviously Gabriel does also have a job to do, which is to hold on to his 3rd position and defend it against Hakimi, who's currently in 4th position.
Maybe he's thinking, I'll just relax, this is another 40-minute race in front of me. Yeah. And there we have the scene of Mars Wilton, a composed look, totally blink. Look at his eyes flickering up and down. He's looking up and down. Little twitch of the nose there. He's totally focused right now. Amazing. All right, just joined us. This is the MSS eSports Championship 2022, round 1 of 3. Currently, right now, we have Ethan Yeo's way ahead right now. We just crossed almost like coming towards the 6th lap. We have Mars Wilton is at 1.2 seconds behind him. They're all starting to cluster right now. They're trying to get involved in the rhythm and the flow of it. Hopefully they can get something done within this. But there's no two way about it. The first and second, they're like runaway leads right now. is just hoping that he might make a mistake.
So it's a bit like, if you do watch cycling, this is kind of like the breakaway peloton that's kind of at the pointy end, and then you have the rest of the grid that's somewhere behind. Oh, it looks like someone's made a little bit of a...
Almost, right? Maybe.
Yeah, I was just looking at the third place driver, there's a bit of a change in time. I think that could be someone going into the pits.
That's right, there's only 6 minutes and 24 seconds left in race 1. I told you, it's going to be very fast. I think 20 minutes is slow, but not in the racetrack and everything moving fun. Currently, there's not much changes in front. Get Ethan Yeo and Mars Bilton. They are at it, hammer and tongs. They know they've got it. It's just that hopefully, none of them made the mistake. Mars Bilton is just trying to hide an opportunity for Ethan to make an error. But Ethan has been playing his fast right now. He's keeping his lead, but he knows it's not over. Until the checkered flag is up, because anything can happen. Not trying to curse anyone once again. But here we have Vincent Poir. Screaming down the track right now, ahead of Jason and what else. Thank goodness, like night racing in Singapore, you don't want to get penalized if you don't turn on your headlights.
Because the floodlights are bright enough.
I'm looking at Vincent right now.
So do you know that when oh, that was a huge impact.
Right side, oh my goodness.
So these drivers, they make it look so easy, but it's not. Trust me, it's not.
It's not. I know. I've tried myself. I spun around a couple of times. Not funny matter, Thank goodness there was no one else to see. Computer was there. Inbuilt program, when the computer starts laughing at you, you start doing some weird maneuver. But anyway. Vincent Poir trying to hold back Jaden, who's 0.3 second. Look at that. Can he go in from the inside right now? No. He's trying to get here from the inside. Jaden Chia right now. Jaden Chia has Vincent Poir in front of him on the inside shot. He's trying to focus and try and take him. But then again, it's still early. This is the bit where they start turning in and out. Not easy. 4 minutes and 38 seconds left on the clock. Oh my goodness. Ethan Yeo, no changes with Mars Bilton right in front, 1.5 seconds. So, you think he'll stay this way for the next 4 minutes?
I mean, certainly would hope that Ethan is able to continue his pace at this point, because he's serving him absolutely well.
This is the screen.
Yeah.
Look at that. Jaden Chia Xiao Yang right now. His clock 2 minutes 14.128 for his lap time. Currently in 9 corrections in 6th position. His car number is 9. Sorry, my eyesight. Anyway, things happen right now. No much changes in the top 2. But apparently Ethan has lengthened his stretch right now, because currently Mars Bilton is like 2.2 seconds behind him. So kind of eased off a little bit. You're not going anywhere.
Right, so we can see that the battle is still feisty, right here in the middle of the grid. That's an overtaking move attempt. Someone's tried to go along the inside. I think that was Jaden who tried to take the inside line.
Yeah.
Of course, when you overtake, it does help to expect what corners come up so that you position your car at the right place at the right time.
There's a lot of drama. There's a bump there. There's drama between Vincent and Jaden, because these two guys have been at it for the past couple of minutes. They're trying to overtake him from the inside right now. Is it possible? We'll see from the count. We're pumping up. There's a slight squeeze there. But join us into the last 2 minutes and 50 seconds of race 1. Not much changes in front of the top 2. We have Ethan Yeo currently 5.2 seconds ahead. Ethan is looking at the clock right now. Ethan is really like, goodbye. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with Mars Bilton's car at the point in time.
Let's just follow on with Jaden.
Yeah, Vincent Poir. That's right. And it's Vincent right now. They're having their own competition right now between Jaden and Vincent. These two guys are at it since the past couple of minutes. Any improvement right now? I saw that Vincent is really holding his pace tight, and Jaden is just trying to squeeze him and forcing some errors. Look at that. And Brian, so currently right now we have Ethan Yeo, Mars Bilton, Brian Hakimi, Vincent Poir, Jaden, Wilson Boone, Gabriel Wee, and they are currently right now in an order from 1st to 8th. So we need to check about this Mondo Junior though, why his cars are still pit. Maybe technical issue, but anyway, fine. Yes, the battle between Vincent Poir and Jaden still carries on, even though the 1 minute 40. Oh, what happened there? Oh
no, doesn't look good. He's lost a few seconds, and that's going to unfortunately kind of seal himself into this position. We've got less than 2 minutes of race to go right now. Whatever moves you want to make it count.
Yep. We're going to stay in the position right now, and I think Mars Wilton, knowing that the nearest car behind him is quite far away.
Yeah.
So he's thinking, oh, I'll get a point. The point that matters.
So this is yet another action. This is Hakibi trying to put a lot of pressure on the third place driver.
Brian Jun right now, the third place driver. He's like 6/10 of a second behind him, trying to make that move behind him. But we'll be able to. We're looking at the clock. The clock's running down. Not much opportunity. But then again, like you said, look at what happened to Jaden and Vincent. It was so close. Yeah, we have our leader right now, Ethan Yeo. Currently, he's running away right now. I think, like you said, look at the time right now. Mars Wilton would be doing as much as he can, okay, to just hold on to his space. But look, there's nothing to scream about. Okay, Brian and him is such a big gap behind, so it's a given, right? Yep.
So as Ethan comes towards the final two corners, he's going to hopefully continue to complete this lap and hopefully see the checker flag that may come in a moment's time. This probably means that there's still probably one lap to go.
Yep.
Based on the amount of time that's left, and of course the rest of the drivers will follow on as well.
He's really building at speed right now. Gives it the light of that. Jaden, still a little love-hate affair between himself and Vince, but they're gonna give him how competitive they all are.
So as we continue observing the battle, this is between Jaden and Vincent. This battle has been taking place all race long, and it's still taking place to the end of this race. So currently 5th is still Vincent. He's still trying to hold onto his 5th position, but of course Jaden does have a lot of pace, and it could be anyone's move now. This is him along the outside. Let's see how this move will turn out. Right-hander, of course, Vincent has the position advantage. Jaden tries to make it work along the outside. Good use of the exit there, great exit. They're going to go too wide down along the stretch, and this means that Jaden, if he's able to pull this move off well, he will take 5th position. So we still continue side by side down the main stretch and hard into the braking zone. It would seem that Vincent still manages to defend his 5th position as we move back to, well, we're back to them once again. The battle still continues, of course. At these final dying moments, 9 minutes of the race is all about trying to squeeze as much of your car as possible.
I love this, though. Even though they can be all the way at the back and they're still trying all the way through. This shows you how competitive these guys are. And there you have Ethan. Well, what can I say? He's a runaway. But don't count too soon. We still got race 2 to talk about later on. And that because it's a 40-minute race, there's lots happening right now. So not much changes here between them. The battle between Vincent and Jaden. Well, Jaden currently runs in 4th position, followed by Vincent. And you got Ethan Yeo and Mars Wilton 1st, 2nd. Brian is up behind him, coming in 3rd. So they're just finishing up whatever it is. There we have. Woohoo! 21:57.511 to Ethan Yeo. Well done, Ethan.
So once he comes around the final corners as well, he will round out his race and come home in 2nd position. Of course, he gave Ethan a really hard time, gave Ethan a run for his money, and of course, he had a good outcome. This is Brian, who will take on the rest of the race. He's coming across the final corners as well. He's probably going to finish in 3rd as well. Oh, the battle is for the 5th!
I know! I saw it! This I told you towards the end, these guys are not going to give up. I love it. I just love it.
Oh no!
Oh, Jaden, what happened? Oh, what a race, these guys.
Oh, it's run out of fuel, unfortunately. Wow, it's so sad to see.
No!
Isn't
that a cardinal sin? Aren't you supposed to work out the amount of fuel? Oh my goodness. Jaden, are you alright? What are you calling
no.
out right now?
His wheels are spinning.
I know. Who has extra spare fuel? Maybe go. Well, it's too far, right? Another 2 minutes just to push him back all the way. Man.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, excellent. It's good job. What a race! But in this end, how can you not have enough fuel? Yes. But anyway, congratulations to Ethan. What a race, and for Mars Wilton as well for giving him such a challenge. And of course, we deep down inside, we knew on the very onstart when they started speeding off, you know that the first thing they want to do was to open up that gap.
Yes.
And they certainly did. Because after that, Brian just was behind us. It's just the way I just can't smell them anymore. But is this going to be what we're going to see for race 2? But this time now with the pit stop, the longer time, and hopefully Jaden will remember it's 40 minutes. And but you know, it was a very exciting race from the get-go. No much incident. It was clean. Yeah, a couple of close shave or so, and we have like cars bouncing off the side. That's not an issue. But what's your take overall for the first race?
Yeah, I think the racing was absolutely clean. It was very good. Of course, rubbing is racing. Sometimes you will have touches here and there, but that's GT racing for you.
Yep.
I think the drivers did a great job.
Yeah.
You know, they pushed their best, they gave their best, and you know, they got the outcome that absolutely everyone would have wanted.
Yep. I think Ethan must be punching right now, say, yeah, 1 down, 2 to go. But all of us are hoping to. Yep. But I think we can see right now across the board. Things might change, like I mentioned earlier on, but congratulations to Ethan and also congratulations to Mars Wilton. And of course, we have Brian, all right? He too, even though he was like having his own little battles back there. And of course, Vincent Chua, okay? And of course, he and this, they were just competing each other. In the midpoint of the race, we were watching that these two guys were like going back and forth and back and forth. I think we were thinking, nah, I think we don't compete with the first and second. You just focus on this. But I think the guys really showed us how competitive they all are. And we just can't wait for the next race. Of course, yes, we have is a practice. Next practice will only be 5 minutes. All right, and then of course they get another a qualifying practice. All right, so you know what? Okay, you might be thirsty, I might be thirsty, maybe you're tired. We're gonna take a very, very short break. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Air, fuel, spark, the trinity of power. You need all three to bring your engine to life. Kenny and Norm knew that, which is why for over 50 years, the company that bears their name has been re-engineering what filtration can do. Engineered to protect against dirt and scientifically proven to provide up to 50% more airflow. K&N, 50 years of performance and innovation.
Welcome back. You're watching MSS eSports Championship 2022. My name is Zachary and that's where you know the first race was crazy, but I hope all of you are all stretched out, relaxed, had your drink. We are going for another 40 minutes now. Have you seen the first result? If it's anything to go by, you know that these guys are really, really competitive. They chong all the way, right?
Yes.
Oh, I tell you, it's a crazy thing. But the amazing thing, okay, how serious this competition is, but it was the first clean race.
Absolutely was.
I've witnessed some terrible starts. But this guy said, well, let's keep it clean. But I think we can roughly see, I wouldn't say the word the boys from the men, but you can see the different kind of quality that's slowly evolving. But then don't speak too soon. As you know, there's 40 minutes in the second race, so things might change. So keep your eyes glued to it. You know, there are lots action coming right up. So now, if I ask you right now, who's your favorite racer?
Well, I think of course, obviously, Ethan won and he did a great job along with Must Be.
I joke Ethan first. Joking.
I think the battle between Vincent and Brian was also excellent. I think, it kind of goes to show that, in a good race, right, you have to have battles at every part of the grid, the pointy end as well as the mid-pack, and even all throughout the field. So I think that mid-pack battle was something I was really excited about. They were really going,
I know, it's like okay, we know we're not going to mix with the boys up in front. Let's focus on the mid-pack. But of course, the beauty about this, in the second race, there is another qualifying. So you won't have the same group that qualified for the first race. So basically, this is what's going to happen. They're going to qualify. There's 10 minutes for qualifying, same thing. And the race is 40 minutes. But this time now, because it's 40 minutes, there'll be a lot of additional stuff going involved as well. You're talking about tactics and strategies involved. Like people think, but 40 minutes very short. No. Because at the kind of race and the pace that they're going, there's a lot that can happen. So right now, of course, we know during the qualifying, you have the cars in front, and chances are you can get that clear space in front of you, you can really race all the way. But maybe right now what we'll see, now that the guys have a feel of each other's racing techniques and whatnot, perhaps this time in the second qualifying, we might see a little different. All right. Of course, now we know that Ethan has snatched the victory for the first one, and will he be able to repeat that in the second in terms of the qualifying remains to be seen. So now the back of the mind, the car's all warmed up. I can kind of sum up in that first race. What will be going through Ethan's mind right now? Because he knows that Mars Wilton is really going to be the guy, the thorn in the side right now. So if preferably he would like to have that opportunity to actually break himself away. But then again, we saw Vincent at the same time. We have the other guys coming in. You can see that they're very competitive. And I think if given an opportunity in the same scenario, they most probably might perform well as well. So it's just way too soon to speak. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think really with the second race, I think the mindset itself has to be a little bit different because it's a longer race. You don't want to make as much mistakes. So you might expect the drivers to maybe hold back a little more. You might expect the racing to be maybe a bit more measured, so to speak. So because you want to ensure that you're able to really carry forward. But because if there is going to be pit stops, they will probably also want to play that into their favor. You can pit maybe early in the race or later on in the race, depending on how much fuel, how much weight you want on your car to kind of optimize how well you do things.
Well, I mean, it's not very often that we see cars going, like a few. I think it was a little gamble that he took. Yes. Because in terms of that, I would say it, and I think he didn't expect to be competing that much. When you're competing, you're using fuel and whatnot. So I think that's one thing that if you don't factor that in as well, you actually have a bit of an issue as well, not that. But I think on the overall, I think it'll be cool to see how the guys all perform. Okay, to be fair, yes, I have eaten my mind, but then again, to be fair across everyone on board, I think all these guys deserve to be here. Okay, they're trying in round one and see how, because it's still too early, there's 3 rounds. So let's see how well they do in the first round in terms of capitalizing on that. If you just joined us, welcome to the MSS eSports Championship 2022. This is Zachary and Wehan. We're just talking about what happened, what transpired in the first race. It was a sprint race, 20 minutes. We had Ethan winning the first race, but we even had some dramas at the back. And that's very common in terms of racing championships as this, because there's a lot riding in this competition. Okay, an opportunity to represent Singapore, okay, on the big competition, right? And I think right now these guys are trying to keep their mind calm as possible because they know they've got another race to compete in. So we were just waiting for the guys right now. I think they're going through their practice session. The second practice session is really short. They don't need much because they've already done 5 minutes plus not 20 minutes. It's like a lot. So they're going to have that very short 5-minute practice, and then we're going to have another qualifying round. This is to be fair. So, and at least the guys get another shot at getting a place in front of the grid. That's important, and I think it also adds to it. And here we have Hakimi right now. He's doing in the qualifying, just 8 minutes, 27 seconds into the qualifying. Now Hakimi was quite midpoint, in the race today. I just have a feeling that he's just trying to sum up and have a feel of the group that he's been, the kind of dynamics and where it goes from there. Because it's a whole lot different. It's not only the difference in time, but also in terms of the strategy and the tactics involved as well.
Absolutely. So, of course, the drivers are now just trying to get their feet a bit more warmed up a little bit again after the end of the first race. So, same 10-minute qualifying. Each driver will probably have, if they're fortunate enough, 4 laps to make the lap times count, or 5 laps even. We will definitely, of course, this is an out lap for everyone, so the lap times are still not indicative of their actual pace. I think it's definitely interesting because this is kind of like their second goal at the qualifying. They know what they've done in the first qualifying. They'll probably be able to understand what to improve on for the second qualifying stint.
Yes, I mean, it's very exciting because right now it's like they've got one in the back, and the next one, they've got a lot of things to think about right now in terms of the we've seen a lot of parts in the race where they were going like abreast of one another to try and squeeze up area. A couple of incidents on the sidewall, that one we know about it. But so far, it has been a very clean race. Everyone has been very, I would say, professional in terms of handling that, even though there's still a few dramas here and there. Mm-hmm. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to see a lot of competitive bit between Mars Wilton and also Ethan. But don't rule Vincent Poir and Jaden as well, because they too have showed us in race 1 how competitive they are. And of course, we have the rest. Hopefully, a sad thing, but I didn't find out exactly what happened to Wilson Woon. I think it was whether it was a technical issue that he couldn't compete in the race because he didn't see his time clock there. But yep, and of course we got the rest. Desmondo Jr. as well is now back in. He currently clocked 2 minutes 51.272 seconds, followed by Ethan Yeo 2 minutes 49.553. So a bit of a difference in terms of the timing right now. But here we have Hakimi.
Yes.
Wow, look at Vincent, I want to fall asleep. He is so relaxed.
See, these people, they make it look so easy.
I know. I mean, if I do that, next thing I'll be sleeping, man. I'll be like, Maybe that's his Zen mood, no? His Zen mood. I should learn nothing or two from you guys.
There was once I actually almost fell asleep racing.
Serious?
So I was doing an endurance race. I think it was a few-hour endurance race. It was into the second hour of my stint. I was just on the straight. I was gonna fall asleep a little bit.
But it doesn't become like a trance for you as you are, going through, especially those long 12 hours, 24 hours Le Mans. It's unbelievable. How many people are involved? 3, 4, just everyone takes turn?
In real world racing, only 3 drivers per car.
Oh my.
But in sim racing, because everything's online, you can have 6, 8 drivers together. And everyone will take turns to drive. Yeah.
All right, that's right. If you just joined us, welcome to MSS eSports Championship 2022. We are actually 5 minutes into the qualifying number 2 for race 2. We have Ethan Yohura has clocked in 2 minutes 11.938 seconds, followed by Vincent Poir 2 minutes 14.011 seconds, and Brian Jun 2 minutes 14.336, and of course we got Hakimi at 2 minutes 14.384. All right, and Jaden as well. So still, lots happening right now.
So if you have a look at the tyre choices that some of the drivers have, obviously super soft being the softest on tyres, and then S representing soft and M representing medium. So obviously if you use a harder tyre, which is the hardest here is medium, that means that you have more tyre longevity. If you have super softs or softs, you have more grip, but your tyres will wear out a little faster. On a street circuit like this, drivers tend to use softer tyres, but they also have to change a little more frequently to new tyres because the soft ones, they don't really last as long. So, it would be definitely natural to see that drivers with the super soft tyres would tend to be a little faster, even in qualifying, as is the case with Ethan and MSS.
You always say like better grip, you're saying, right?
Yes.
But then again, even though it's a super soft one, means there's a possibility of them hitting much earlier to change, depending on the development of the race.
Absolutely.
So So far we know that Hakimi is on medium. He's the only, he and Desmondo Jr. on medium tires right now. So what are the different types? We have like the super soft, the medium. Is that the range that you have? Or there are so many different...
Well, in Formula 1, you have all the way up to hard tires. And then after that, you have wet weather tires and stuff like that.
Okay. No wet weather tires here, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, you can kind of see 3 of the 4 tire choices in this race, which each of the drivers, they've opted for these tires. So right now, this is Gabriel Wee. He's also using super soft tires. I think it needs to be seen if they will choose to use the same kind of tires in the actual race, and how it will affect the way they strategize the pit stops when they want to kind of pit in and stuff like that.
Join us is the MSS eSports Championship 2022. Just 2 minutes 45 seconds left in the second qualifier for race 2, which is 40 minutes. Currently, right now, we're seeing Gabriel Wee, who clocked 2 minutes 15.257 seconds for his lap time earlier on. But just to let you know, if you just joined us, Ethan Yeo actually won that first race, followed by Mars Wilton. And again, a lot of things they might be changed because we are going for a second qualifying, so they will not take the same position on the grid. So this is the opportunity. We know that these cars are fast. If you are the first 2 positions, always lucky. I mean, you manage to open up, you'll be able to break away from the gap. Yes, there's potential areas for overtaking on this track, but it's not easy.
And, Vincent is retired.
Ooh,
Yep.
that's scary.
He's been his car. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Vincent's retired. Yep.
Yeah. So as we observe some of the other drivers who are still continuing with their laps. Right now we have just under 2 minutes to go in qualifying, so that could amount to maybe 2 laps to go, depending on if they pass the line after or before the checkered flag.
That's right. I don't have a sense that these guys already know, okay, the first round, I think they might suss out everything. You might see a lot of changes later on in the second race, but it's just can't wait for them to see how much they can actually put on in terms of me. Yeah, so just joined us. This is with just 1 minute 22 seconds left in the second qualifying. We can see the guys are really pushing as much as we can. Ethan Yeo 2:11.66.2 and Mars Wilton 2:12.012 seconds. Vincent Poir 2:13.926. Brian Jun 2:14.336. Hakimi 2:14.384. Jaden 2:14.769, Gabriel Wee 2:15.757. So they're rather close in terms of the timing. But now I think the strategy of the choice of tire might come into play right now, because at the back of their mind, most of these drivers will have a rough issue of precisely where they want to pit. But of course, we know this is all not really fixed. It's depending on how the race develops. And you and I have seen races of all sorts. Things can change. The element of luck or being unlucky is one thing, depending on which receiving end you're gonna get. But then again, it all opens up to exciting race sports. Yes, if you're thinking that this circuit looks familiar, it is the Marina Bay Street Circuit. For those of you who want to have the opportunity to race it, no, I don't think you will have. But you can slowly drive in your commander car and experience and pretend you're racing. You were mentioning earlier on, there's one portion that you can't race through.
Yes.
It's the Anderson Bridge, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, we can always walk.
Yeah. Okay, qualifying's over. You know, we've just breezed past so quickly. Provisional pole, or rather pole is Ethan Yeo with 2:10.
Look at that time! My goodness!
With a medium tire.
Wow.
Yeah. So of course, some of the drivers who, they might still be able to have a run for their lap time. So I think Jaden is going to come home in second. He will start from second with a 2:11.480, followed by Masvi with a 2:12. He will begin from third position.
Look at that. Amazing. All of them, their timing is much faster than the previous timing. So what I tell you, okay, these guys know what they're going to do right now. But like I said, I can't wait for race 2 to commence, because I think we've got one hell of a race ahead of us. Now, I'm starting to like this car. The sound is starting to grow on me. Okay, and whether I can put it in my conventional car, that remains to be seen. My neighbors might complain though. I have a neighbor who had a very fast car. He tries very hard to like crawl back into the estate, but this all can. People open up window. Hey, shut down! That's amazing. And you have Brian Leong, currently in 6th position. He's trying to qualify. His current time on soft tires, that's 2:14.336. Can he do a better than his previous time to climb up the grid? Let's see. No, I don't think so. Oh, there he goes.
And we're still left with Hakimi as
Yeah,
well as...
and Gable as well, yeah.
So he's going to come across the final few corners. He has a shot at possibly upending some of the drivers in front of him in terms of lap time. Comes across the final few corners. His time to beat. Oh no, he
Stop
spun!
too soon! Oh, I saw his reaction. He went.
Yeah. It's so unfortunate for him.
But like we said, don't judge too soon. But then hopefully he wouldn't have to face that in the actual race itself. All right, so we are just tabulating the positions, and then we will have the finalization of the qualifiers, and then we will know who's going to be in front. But look at the time that Ethan clocked. 2 minutes 10. He's trying to send a signal because the previous one was like 1 second slower than that. And I think he's sending a signal out to everyone, and the rest are also going to try. So we're going to have this little ding-donging between the guys right now, because look at them all on the track right now. They are waiting. And for those of you who just joined us, this is race 2 of the MSS eSports Championship 2022. This is a 40-minute race, and I have a very strong feeling they are going to Cheong. You know?
Yes, definitely.
Make sure, fingers crossed, all clean race. They had the first clean race in front, but I don't know about you right now. Okay, I'm holding my breath. We are ready. We are ready at home. The Raiders are ready. They are flashing the lights. All lights are on except for the car in the back there. I don't care who it is. Are we ready? And yeah, I can hear the roar right now. You're ready? And they're off. Race 2. Ethan Yo is exploring as fast as he can right now. He knows he's got a fast time on the start right now. While Dylan, you know, to react and win with Mars Filton and Jaden and Wilson Wood and Brian Jones so far. Vincent Point. Look at that. We like Scout. They are going all out right now. The first few laps, ooh, that was close.
So once again, Ethan leads the start of the race as he did in the previous race, and it is also must be in 2nd place. Of course, Jaden has fallen down to 3rd place, but now it's a three-way breakaway up front. A little bit different from the race just now that we've seen. As you ride with Masvi, let's see if he will continue to reprise his role as, I guess, a thorn in Ethan Yo's rear view mirror.
That's right. He's not going to play second fiddle right now. I mean, if you saw that guy, this only happens in race 1. I'm going to give it all I got. It's still early. It's 40 minutes. Okay, so things can happen right now. So he's going to go all out. So we have even Jaden in 3rd position right now. Things are happening, right? He's crazy. He's going to go all the way out. And this is side build on Lars Wilton. He says, was this close? Like, to me, it felt as though he quite like gave up towards the end. I mean, there's no way. The closest I got was like 0.3 of a second.
Down to this Anderson Bridge. In fact, this is pretty much the narrowest section of, I guess, a lot of racetracks that you'll ever get. It's just narrow, like,
So
you don't fit two cars.
it's the no overtaking zone, I would say.
Maybe, close.
All right, here we have Ethan Yo looking in the back. He has Mars Bilton flashing him. Not really though, but we should get away. This again. But it would be quite interesting for them to see. Yep. So basically we have 38 minutes down. Things can happen. There's pit strategies. All these guys are all on different tires right now, on medium tires and soft tires. Oh, look at them. All they're going to go all out right now. And the gap between Mars Bilton and Ethan, there's 0.6 of a second. Yeah, look at that. Look at that serious face. I'm very serious as well. No. He's not smiling.
Yeah, I think it's ready to continue pushing Ethan, playing mind games with Ethan, because that's your role as the driver behind, as the second place driver.
Yeah, ooh, it's like bomb there. I saw on the side, right thing.
Yeah.
Yep. And Mars Bilton really closing up the gap. He's just holding out that thing. That was the furthest he did earlier on at 0.2 of a second, and he just couldn't cross him.
Let's see if he can now. He thought of a move inside. You saw he tried to move out.
Yep. Trail him all the way through. And here we're like Jaden Chia at the back looking at these two guys in front. I think I'll keep a safe distance between myself and them. It's still very early. Let's see what I'm going to do about it. Just watch what these guys are going to do right now. It's amazing. Oh, we just joined us. Yes, we're just into 37 minutes left in race 2. Same thing, we currently have Ethan Joe in front, followed by Mas Vilton and Jaden in third position. But don't rule the rest out. As we saw early on in race 1, lots of drama in between the competitions comes like then all the serious look on Mas look. That's a look of a very, very committed and focused driver, right? Do you look like that when you race?
I'm probably half asleep at that point. Yeah.
I most probably have that very like confused look like, no, was it a left hand turn or right turn for that?
Yeah, I think it just shows how focused these drivers are. They're absolutely focusing on where they're going, which absolutely should be. Ethan continues to lead Masvi into this other side of the track. Of course, the time difference between them is about 5 and 6/10 of a second, which is quite close. So, I think if any moves are to take place, Masvi will have to make it count. As he comes within range. Coming into braking, this is one of the more difficult parts. Over there it's a bit easy to lock up, but of course drivers make it work nonetheless. This is the third sector, and it's like we shared earlier on in the race, it's all about getting our braking points right, being at the right position, and especially coming down into this underneath the grandstand part. We have a very nice onboard view here. You can go down to first gear, you can also do it in second gear, which has worked for these drivers. So he continues to trail Ethan, as we can see, we can kind of see the choice of line that he has, which is very important as we observe this battle.
Well, it's interesting to see that we don't have a cluster of cars all going up like that. So this is basically the guys who are given the opportunity to break away from the rest of the pack. That we do. It's interesting for them as well. So now the thing is still too early, but of course it looks like it is. Is it going to be like a replay? Deja vu moment for like race 1 remains to be seen, because we've seen a lot of races being won and lost whenever there was a pit strategy involved. Some were very close, some just miscalculated. So hopefully these guys have a plan in the back of their mind. So it's still early. It's crazy how that the race, when it starts off right, halfway through maybe the next 5-10 minutes, the race starts to adopt a certain rhythm to the whole flow about it.
Yes.
It's like a dance, right? And then from there we see races just going on, carrying a mode until the next pit. That's observing, I would say.
I think one thing is the race will definitely have the rhythm. It's just whether or not you are able to settle into it quick enough to make things work. It's very important for this track as well, because as compared to some other tracks, over here you have to really be on higher alert to ensure that your car is still intact.
I like the way the car is still intact, Compared to that, whoops. They're laughing at someone. Is that my tires? Just join us. We are in race number 2 for round 1 of the MSS eSports Championship 2022. Currently in the lead is Ethan Yeo, who also happens to be the winner for race 1, followed by Mas Vilton in second, James in third, and Vincent Kwan fourth, Brian in fifth, Gabriel Wee sixth, Wilson Woon seventh, Dumando Jr. and of course Muhammad Akimi in ninth. Alright, and so it's still early, I would say, because they still need to pit. But then again, looking at it, the majority of them have actually chosen medium tires, and only Gabriel has chosen a hard tire. Why do you do that? Interesting.
I think it has to do with the durability that hard tires offer. Those hard tires can really last long. They're hardy.
But don't they take more time to actually heat up as well?
I think with regards to tire temperatures, it's kind of the same. It's just that the kind of compound is just a little bit different, especially with hard tires. Of course, one thing that drivers should play with are things like tire pressures. That matters quite a lot as well, and that's also very much within the setup. We continue to observe Gabriel Wee, who still sits in 6th position. He leads Wilson, who's in 7th, and of course there is a gap of about a second. So this is quite a stable battle that's happening at the mid-pack, and it's obviously very great to see.
Oh, look at it. So far it's been a clean race, no major incident. Everyone is just focused on doing their best. And currently right now we have the top 3 who are currently right now in, I would say, almost like a world of their own.
Yes.
Okay, but then again, like we said earlier on, things can happen, hopefully nothing major, but these guys are going to give all they've got. We're looking at skills, tenacity, perseverance from all these races. And then we have Gabriel Wee looking very composed, focused. I believe all of them are. You kind of thought, whoa! Stop too soon! Oh my goodness! Excuse me.
We still managed to rejoin the track.
Look at him. I like it. He manages a little smile on his face there.
I think it must have hurt us.
He's like, oops, sorry, I didn't see you there. Oh my goodness. Oh, anyway, that's all. There's nothing major. They're still back to racing again. Okay, you just joined us. There was a slight little. He's still smiling there, Gabriel. I love this sport. No seriousness. Let's carry on. You know. Yep. So yeah, it's hard. You know, Wilson Woon right now. Currently just behind Gabriel Wee, 0.3 of a second.
0.5 of a second at this point, so I think it is very much prime for Wilson to kind of plot and think about how exactly he wants to approach Gabriel after that shot.
No, I was like, oops, sorry.
Yeah. So coming into the section where the cars will kind of get quite close to each other, you know, it just amazes me. You know, you can all a bit loose there. I think Gabriel needs to get back into the rhythm sooner than later.
Yep. Not easy when having Wilson trying to pile the pressure on you. Whoa, Wilson! Ouchie. All right, so we're having interesting drama. I think they were.
Is that an overtaking move?
Trying to on the inside. Oh, what a move! They went all the limit. What a move by Wilson Woon on Gabriel Wee.
That was a very interesting overtaking move. There's one position. Overtaking move.
Trying to on the inside. Oh, what a move! They went all the limit. What a move by Wilson Woon. Dive bombing across the ring. But yep, a wild move that was. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Just joiners just missed one hell of a maneuver by Wilson Woon, who overtook Gabriel Wee. And currently he sits in 6th position with Gabriel 7. No changes at the top 3. We have Ethan Yeo, who's first, followed by Mars Wilton and Jaden Chia. So the drama is still between these two, between Gabriel and Wilson. I think more to be developing right now because we're only just like, got 29 minutes and 43 seconds. Lots of action. Okay, like you say, most of it Wilson was thinking and playing in his mind. You know, okay, we tried it the first time, it didn't work. Got a little nudge there, but and the second one, wow, yeah.
Yeah, so as the drivers kind of regain composure, which they are in fact doing very well now. The battle will still continue between these two drivers. They're coming upon, you know, one of the tricky parts of the track. The hairpin.
I hate hairpins.
I don't know if you can pin on your hair.
I know. When I first tried this circuit, it made me like, you know, I want to really accelerate, but I keep getting stopped by all these turns. But that's the whole thing about it, right? The person that gets it right gets it, basically, yeah. Here we have Ethan Yeo, very relaxed, very focused. He knows he's got the lead right now and maybe makes it 2 out of 2 races. We know it's still too soon to say, but of course Mars Wilton is not going to do and just sit back and relax and say I'll take second. Nah, knowing he won't. So currently he's at 1.1 second behind Ethan, and he's gonna find that opportunity. Will he be lucky like what Gabriel did with Wilson? You know, or was already that way Wilson with Gabriel. Each of them are just taking turns in terms of that, but lots of things. Now Ethan is so he's in control. He's doing everything right now. Baseline, all sorts of it.
Yep. He's doing all he can to defend his lead. You know, you really have to work hard to defend your lead. Getting a lead is one thing, but to defend it is really where the bulk of the work is for Ethan.
Yeah, and guess what? Gabriel Wee has overtaken Wilson Woon. I thought these two guys are they ding dong. Can you like set them all separately on their own? Like they're just racing among themselves. There's 7, 8 other cars there, you know?
I think the other cars are generally around on average 3 to 5, 6 seconds apart. So for those drivers, it's all about trying to, you know, get the best lines right. Kind of hot lapping in the race. You know, sometimes in the race there will be phases of the race where you hot lap and when there's nobody around you. I face that all the time because I'm always dead last.
Yeah, I better not laugh too soon because I'm just waiting for my opportunity to have an experience. I have all cars just driving past me, but anyway, for those guys, for those just joined us, welcome to the MSS eSports Championship 2022. It's currently on our clock, 27 minutes, 4 seconds left in race 2. Currently in the lead is Ethan Yeo, followed by Mars Wilton and followed by Jaden Chia. But guess what? There's more drama between 6 and 7 plays between Gabriel Wee and Wilson Wu. They've been overtaking themselves one after the other. I don't know whether they're passing Baton or something like that, but they are giving us the exciting bit about the race itself. Because right now we see Ethan Yeo is totally focused on keeping his lead. But we know Mars Wilton is not going to give him that luxury because he's going to try his very best to close the gap between himself and hopefully try to be thinking in the top of his mind right now. Okay, when to pit?
Yes.
Well, to pit or not to pit? That was the question.
I think the pit window should usually open at around this portion of the race. Of course, the window exists. Based on middle, you can go in a few laps earlier or a few laps later. I think one upside of going in early in the pits is you don't really have to worry about pitting later on in the race. But there are some people who pit late to make the undercut work. Sometimes it works.
I know about the undercut. I've seen races where people do it, it's so successful, but then as they're exiting out from the pit, they get stuck and wedged between like two cars, and that's it for them. There's no other way of them getting out. So it also depends on the circuit as well.
Yes. So we continue to observe Masvi, who's still in second place. He's still sitting behind Ethan, still giving him quite a hard time. Of course, doing his job really well. So far Ethan hasn't cracked a single bit. He's still holding his ground extremely well.
Iceman.
Yes.
And Mars Wilton is trying every means, 7/10 of a second behind Ethan Hill. You've always seen me in the back of my mind trying to find the best opportunity to really get a slot to try to overtake Ethan. But Ethan is doing so well, he's race line well, he's defending well, he's not giving him an inch, an opportunity to overtake him. So this is like I would say for Mars Wilton, an opportunity to look for a chance of a window of opportunity right now. So, and if Ethan plays his cards right, it won't be that easy though.
So these guys are just so close to each other.
Yep.
Going over the curves. These curves, GT cars can handle these curves a bit better than the open wheelers. So sometimes you'll see them going a bit aggressive over the curve.
I've seen like wheels going up. Yeah. Let's see. Still no change between Gabriel and Wilson, but here we have Mars Wilton seeing closely. He's got his eyes on Ethan Yeo. He wants to overtake him, but he can't seem to find a gap. Ethan is playing his cards so well. I mean, you've seen races always, when someone just his day. If he races on his day, there's no chance, no opportunity of you overtaking at all.
Yes.
And that's the frustration bit. And when drivers are frustrated, they tend to do silly things.
Now let's just continue to observe this development happening. I think it's been a status quo for race 1. It's still been for race 2 up to this point. Must be still trying to. How you sometimes you want to position yourself right in the driver in front. Rear view mirror. You get it right. You get the headlights flashing into the rear view mirror. You try to pressure them a little bit.
But these guys, they know what they're doing. And like I say, it's not going to be very easy, but I salute them. I mean, it's not easy, but I'm really getting all excited right now. Where is that opportunity? Okay, but Ethan is like, just a walk in the park, Kaczynski.
The happy once again.
Yep.
The corner they dislike.
Either you love it or you hate it. Well, I know for me, I hate it. Okay, so far no change. I think the drivers have all got into a kind of a rhythm I was talking about, and you can see maybe close between first and second place between Eden and Mars Wilton. You're also looking in terms of the opportunity between the gap for Wilson Woon and Gabriel Wee. Look at that! It's all of a sudden there's this big gap.
Yeah, I think something must have happened sometime that wasn't captured.
Hopefully it wasn't that little incident they had and start to have a bit issues. I was just hoping these guys would give us more action and drama. Right?
So I think at this point of the race, right, usually in the middle part of the race, it's a bit more lulled. Drivers are just ensuring that they complete lap after lap with their car intact and able to carry their car forward with each lap. I think usually the intense part would happen typically with 10 minutes to go, because that's where they have to send everything, just send it.
All right, it's not changed, still in their position. Let's take a quick look at that. We've got Ethan Yeo in the top position, followed by Mars Vilton, Jaden, Vincent, Brian, Gabriel, Wilson Woon, Muhammad Hakimi, and Desmondo Jr. So no change at the moment. The only close fight we see is between the top two, 7/10 of a second between Mars Vilton and Ethan Yeo. But it's still only 21 minutes, all right? And 43 seconds left in race 2. But guess what? We are going to take a short commercial break. Don't touch that dial. We'll be back with more action. Welcome back. You're watching MSS eSports Championship 2022. Zachary and Wei are here, and we are watching this race unfolding slowly. It's a love-hate affair between Ethan Yeo and Mars Vilton. 8/10 of a second, but we're also very heartening to say that the race has slowly got into a rhythm. It was kind of a slow dance, so to speak. But I think these guys, looking at the clock right now, it's 19 minutes and 57 seconds left in race 2. So I would say with the pit stop door open now, I would say midpoint.
I think it's wide open at this
Wide
point.
open. Come in, pit stop.
Yeah, I think a couple of guys have
Gone in already?
probably already gone in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, look at that. It's amazing. Mars Vilton has kept his face in that booth for the whole 20 minutes. Well, we know it, but Ethan, look at Ethan. Ethan is really the look of total focus. He's playing his cards right so far. He did it well in race 1. Will he be able to do it race 2? But I say at this point in time, he has been doing really well. He's giving Mars Vilton no hell in chance of getting an opportunity to squeeze through. But like they say, the race is not over till the fat lady sings. All right, so we need to see this, and we have a slight change there. Hakimi and Desmondo Jr. On there. Did they pit?
Yep.
Okay, let's see the action there. We have Muhammad Hakimi. Coming out of the pits. Oh, we had a lot of pits incident where either they are overspeeding or something like that, but hopefully they're not this one. And then we have Muhammad Hakimi. Okay, making his way out. It's clear, and here he goes.
Oh, touched the wall a little bit.
He did. It's real.
A little bit loose on the exit. Yeah, I think it really is a race of attrition, especially a race here in Singapore, because it's all about how you're able to handle the track over time. You can get each lap you can get your rhythm right time after time. But when you just make, when let's say touch through, you do make a mistake, right? It's a little bit difficult to get back in the rhythm again. I know that because I'm always dead last and the hot lap is the only thing I do.
Talking about hot lap, I know they have like little on social media. You have a lot of the racers hopping out of their actual vehicles and soaking the bathtub with ice and all that stuff. It's how hot is it? It's amazing how they can actually perform under such conditions. I mean, I swear I'll put an egg in my pocket. Let's get back to the race now. Yep, no changes. Ethan Yeo still holding up his position. And you're just having Mars Vilton buzzing around from the back. It's not easy. He knows it's not easy. And I feel today Ethan is up his game a little. But then let's see, hopefully for Mars Wilton, he can find an opportunity to. If not, he'll have to settle for second again and prevent race 1.
So very much when you're battling with the other driver, sometimes there's a concertina effect. At some parts of the track you'll be a bit further away, and then at some parts of the track where you may be a bit better, you'll be a bit closer. So you have this kind of open close motion between cars, so to speak. Where sometimes you'll be closer, sometimes you'll be further. It's all about how you're going to break through that and make the move happen.
Now that you mentioned that, I noticed a lot of that. Like, it kind of bothers me most of the time when I'm watching this race. It's like, wow, this guy has the wrong gap. Yeah. They come to the end, he breaks, and the car just closes up the gap. Then, what's the point in the previous one? But anyway, you know that it's all opportunity that comes in. You get cases where slight knocks, unfortunate accident, you have sometimes tire issues and fuel, like of it. But anyway, these guys know that on the clock is 16 minutes and 17 seconds left for race 2. No one's making a lot of moves yet. I don't know what Mars Wilton is thinking right now because they're just thinking really hard. They still have to pit. Right, but then again, if it's too close, you need to have that safety pit gap between themselves too. Right? Oh, okay. So then Ethan Yeo is still in the lead, and Mars Wilton is. I know. I'm looking at his photo right now. I think like he's in a trance right now, man. If I end it going right now, when can I get a chance to overtake him? Alright, if you just joined us, okay, this is MSS eSports Championship 2022. 15 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock for race 2. Dramas happening only at the front. They're trying to hold a gap. The rest of the guys are quite spaced out. Then again, we won't know until we see the race. The focus is between Ethan Yeo and Mars Wilton. I mean, let's ask you, when you raced endurance racing, right?
Yes.
And we come to a point where you have something like that go around, right? Doesn't you go into a trance or?
Yes, you do go into a trance.
Go into a trance, right?
So you need to try to keep yourself awake and ensure that you can still continue the rhythm. In endurance racing, it's a little bit different from sprint races because instead of trying to make the move work, right, you are just playing a game where you hope to be the last one standing. Because over 24 hours in a typical endurance race, you want to ensure that you can keep up with everything. You don't need to make moves to make the jump ahead, but you hope that you're not the one who will, suffer from any issues there.
Well, I've never heard of issues where people finish your endurance race where you have to stretch the person out of the car. Mars Wilton, 4/10 of a second behind Ethan Yeo. Will he be able to find a gap through? He's been trying since race 1, and for the past 2 minutes, he's been trying to find a gap through. And Ethan is really playing his cards right now. He is not giving Mars Wilton a chance. I don't know whether he's just holding his cards, playing his cards right, for an opportunity, for the best track right there. But that's the scary bit, right? When you go into a trance, then you just lose your focus for that brief moment, and then you present the opportunity. I've seen races like that. The guy's playing his cards all the way through, and towards the end, something happened. He misjudged his time or got distracted. Maybe his keyboard or his joint or he fell asleep, But yeah, it does happen in races like these. So, but then again, we know these two are really battling out. One is trying to maintain his lead. The other is trying to find that opportunity to overtake that person in front. The last lap for Ethan Yeo was 2 minutes 12.222 seconds. Okay, we know that during his qualifying he did a 2:10. So that's how fast he can get. But then of course we know that when it comes to endurance race, it's not about how fast you get there, it's how long and precisely you play the game to get through there. And he's doing his race very well. And I think to the frustration of Mars Wilton, I don't pity him because that's part and parcel of racing and all that. Yeah. The rest right now we can see in third place is still Jaden Chia, Vincent Hua, Brian Yoon, Gabriel Wee, Muhammad Hakimi, and Desmond Lee Jr. and Wilson Woon. And of course, Wilson Woon because he faced something wrong with his car. I think it's just the incident he had with Gabriel, I suppose. It's just my guess. But no much changes here. You know who are the desperate one? Mars Wilton really has his headlights. Yes. Turn up at maximum. At maximum. He's trying to tell you, I'm here. Let me go. Give me a spot. Okay, flex your engine. That's what they say in the back there, man. These guys are really doing it.
Yeah, you know, in Singapore, you know, you have long stretches.
Yep. Oh, he's trying his strength to the inside. Oh, got that maneuvered well. That was close.
Let's see if he's able to make it work through this hairpin, or will he just follow through? Yeah, it must be just follow through. You know, I think the thing with overtakes you see, right, is oftentimes you see overtaking moves happen that instant, but usually there is a lot of build-up before that overtaking moment, because it's very important to kind of set yourself right, you know, in the right position, and usually that sometimes can take laps before you're able to commit to that overtaking move.
So there's like a backstory and slowly building up towards the end. Like previous races we've seen where we have endurance races, there's nothing much all in trans, but towards the end, that's what's happening, the pit stop, the strategy, the unforeseen accidents and whatnot that actually makes things more interesting. Also the conditions of your tires, whether or not you get the same grip rate, yeah. And we are going around all the way through. Like I say, Ethan is chasing him up with another car. Who is that?
I think at this point we might see some lap traffic already. Of course, you know, when you have a race that's probably longer than 20 or so minutes, you will come upon drivers who are lap traffic, you know. Sometimes you can use them to your advantage. You know, when you want to when you have a car that's slower than you, who is a lap down, and you have someone hot behind you who's trying to overtake you, you can sit yourself in front of that car and let that car defend your position for you.
That's legal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Get someone to do the dirty work for you, right? Sorry. If you just joined us, welcome to the MSS eSports Championship 2022. 10 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in race number 2. Delva in the lead is Ethan Yeo, and Mas Bilton is 3/10 behind him. Can he find that space? But then, of course, we have another car that's turning in the back there. Can he use it as a strategy? What we heard said earlier on. But then again, this is interesting. I'm going to see this right now. What's going to happen? Excuse me, you're in the way.
Three
right there. Oh,
yeah, someone's not having that flashing.
Yes.
Oh. So that just probably kind of upended the rhythm of the drive a little bit. Masvi is all over the rear gearbox of Ethan. Yeah.
Oh, that was really close though. He must be really, really angry. He's flashing his light with that car, man.
So this continues on?
Yep. You can see it's picking up the pace right now. This is sudden. After that incident, there's a sudden change in the tempo right now. You can see he's biting up the lip. It's like, missed up an opportunity. Oh, look at that. Oh, go, Muhammad Hakimi Hafiz! Muhammad Hafiz bin Azman said in the line, yay! We just passed it. It's so exciting. Come on, man, he said. It's only 9 minutes, 16 seconds left. You can feel they went silent for a while, you know, trying to build up, pick that whole momentum. But I think all the adrenaline is starting right now. He knows he doesn't have much chance to do that, so he's really, really pushing as much as he can right now. He doesn't have much choice because he knows that he's against an opponent he's playing his cards right. Okay, he's not giving him a lot of opportunity. Earlier on, that was actually an opportunity, but he just was. I think Ethan did well to defend that position.
So I think this is where the tempo will start to return to what you would see at the start of the race, because it's almost towards the end, and you know they can almost smell the checker flag. Because it's a question of who gets it first. Who gets the checker flag first?
Imagine Mas Bilton again. Don't. Not again. 4/10 of a second. Let's see the rest right now. Walk off here. There's no change. You got Jaden in third position, Vince 1, 4, Brian in 5th, Muhammad Hakimi in 6, Gabriel Wee 7, Desmondo Jr. in 8, and Wilson Woon in 9. So no much changes in that. So the action, I think it will go to the wire for the first and second position between Ethan and Mas Bilton. But will he have a shot? Still 8 minutes on the clock. All right. And I don't know, look at it.
Oh yeah, they're almost kissing bumpers with each other, man. You know, at certain angles, if you look at it. It's just a battle that's kind of taken place all race long. They've not had a chill moment. They've always been close to each other. So of course, I think right now we might have another battle between third and fourth position, I guess. I think observing from the timing tower, that's where things are heating up a little bit.
Yeah.
If we have a look at between Vincent Phua and Jaden,
That's right. As they say, Ethan Yo is holding up. It's crazy. You are so right. He's not giving Mas Bilton any opportunity as well. Mas Bilton is at his wit's end. How and when precisely can he make that move? He had an opportunity much earlier on, but that didn't materialize. Will he going to stay this way? Well, it remains to be seen. We only got 7 minutes left on the clock.
Oh.
I'm too excited right now. I'm thinking seconds. I don't know why. But
Clip
yeah,
the wall a bit
would
there.
there be? It's crazy, but we know, right? He's not going to make it any easier for him. The look on Mas Bilton's face says it all. He knows there's not much time on the clock, but you know he's not going to go it. They're going to go it all out. Like you said, the tempo has changed. Okay, I can sense it. I think you can sense it as well. Right? It's going to go crazy right now. Okay, but this is the crazy bit. All right, the scary bit as well, because towards the end, that's where sometimes mistakes they make. All right, and you push too much, then that's it. But yeah, we see it on that note. So if you just joined us, this is the MSS eSports Championship 2022, 6 minutes, 16 seconds left on the clock for race 2. The focus right now is on first and second, Ethan Yo and Mas Bilton. Those are 5/10 per second behind Ethan Yo. Ethan Yo has been playing his cards right. He's not giving Mas Bilton any opportunity to overtake him. You think he'll end like that?
well, it could be 2 times the charm for Ethan, but you know, it will be quite. I think there is very much a chance for that to still carry on. But again, you know, this is where tempo is up. You know, we all know Masvi is a very fast driver. He probably has something up his sleeves. Right now, he's obviously putting his nose to the gearbox of Ethan very closely there. So you know, it's never too. I guess it's going to be quite difficult to tell until maybe the very last moment of the race. It could be anyone's race at this point. Right now, it's still in the favor of Ethan, but you know, we'll continue to see if that is the case. 5 minutes later.
Yeah, but we're seeing third and fourth place between Jaden and Vincent also. I mean, they have a little drama bit back there that we've seen most of it, but the action's already in front. And Ethan is just doing what he is supposed to be doing, is keeping Mas Bilton at bay. Okay, I'm feeling nervous right now for him as well. But look, he looks very composed, very confident. Yep, he knows what he's doing, and rightfully so. There's no place for the faint-hearted. No points for second best. But anyway, yeah. So it's lots of exciting things happening right now. Can he? Oh, he's not really flashing right because of the vibration of the cars right now. But looks like he's flashing him now.
You know, the one thing I like about this track.
He's right on the outside. Can he? Oi!
Wow.
Did he? No. Yes. According to them, Mas Bilton has overtaken him. Oh, what happened?
He locked up the brakes a little bit. He seeded.
Well, I just said it so soon. Oh my goodness. Ethan Yo has got overtaken. We just spoke too soon. Now he's like going all out right now, trying to overtake him on the outside.
So that was Ethan trying to reclaim his lead.
Yeah.
You know, I think we spoke also. Aggressive moves that come into contact with each other. I think Ethan has just been thrown off the wall, and you know, we do have a new race leader, Masvi, he's bided his time and he's made it work, and now he's in the race lead.
He's patiently has done it, and he's successful right now. Now he's got to go all out and look at his replay. Look at how he won. It's something that he locked his wheels up, and then he had an opportunity to go in there. Oh, look at that. Oh, now this makes for a very exciting end. Race, just 3 minutes, 17 seconds left for race 2. If we just came back and watch, guess what? It's Mas Bilton has taken a pole position, followed by Ethan Yo with that little move he did. But it's still too soon. Can Ethan do the same? Not much time in the clock right now. But Mas Bilton must be saying, my patience paid off. But it was getting a bit out of hand early on, so they're trying to find a squeeze. Like,
I think it's just really exciting watching these two top drivers battle it out with each other.
Oh, look at that. Mas Bilton is really trying to capitalize on this. I'm gonna do an Eton. Oh, it's exciting now. Yes, there's a change of leader. Oh, this is lights get there, but I managed to catch it in little time. Okay, this is where it gets really, really exciting and can get messy at times also because, you know,
He's either trying to regain his race lead. I think he's very hungry to do so. He very much wants his race lead back, and it could be anyone's guess now because with this 40-minute race and we're coming down to the last minutes of the race, going down the wire. With all this in consideration, it's very hard to tell how the outcome will be. Looking at how close these two are racing with each other.
Yes, Ethan must be telling himself, how did he actually make that mistake? But we did say earlier on, this is where they're going abreast. Down the stretch here, making the left-hand turn. Oh, that's half the car there, man. Okay, look, they're on best to best right now. That was close. This is really close to the wire. Oh! Oh, what's that? That was close catch from Dan Mas-Wilton. Oh my goodness, they're still very close together. Ooh, this did it.
Let's see how this continues to play out once we manage to get back his race lead.
I need my pogo stick now. Come on. Oh my goodness. This is really exciting a bit. Oh no! Oh no! What is this? Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys, it happened. Come on guys, this is not a parade, right? For a while, kind of nicked him on the back there.
So it's a hairpin. Ethan came into contact with the left rear.
That was close. Oh man, what's this? Mas-Wilton still lucky to get hold of the leading point. There's 36 seconds left on the clock. Twice we saw the incident. This is going to go a bit crazy towards the end. The drama's in front. If you just joined us and why we're screaming is because it's almost the end. But guess what? It's just not that kind of end that you always attribute to the race. It's exciting. There's a lot of changes between the front there. 2 incidents, but it's still the leaders between Mas-Wilton and Ethan Yeo is in second place. Can he take it?
We're coming down to the final seconds of the race. This could or could not be the checker flag. Let's see how this turns out. This must be leading Ethan Yeo down to the final 2 corners. Will this be the white flag? Will this be the checker flag?
Come on!
It's got a race finish!
Let's go! Oh my God! Look at that! Oh, wow! What a race! It's not over yet because the rest of the car coming. Don't forgot about them. Got Jaden.
He got home in 3rd.
That's right, Jaden and Vincent Bois in 4th. Yes, Brian Leong Yi Kun. And Muhammad Hakimi in 6th. Oh, if you just join us, guess what? Race 2 is over, but you missed the excitement. It was to the wire. It's crazy. If you know why we're screaming, it's not because we are hard of hearing, because we're excited. You should have seen it. If you can't, just rewatch it again. What a race towards the end. We knew it was going to be something exciting and spectacular. Okay, but I didn't know it was going to end like that. But then again, like you said, it is not over till the fat lady sings. But here we go. Muhammad Hakimi. Okay, currently in 6th position to this finish off the race, but really what a race it was. Oh my goodness.
So let's follow Hakimi through the final corners as he rounds out the entrance of this race. We'll come around the final 2 corners and finish off in P6. A fantastic race by Hakimi. I think we've also observed some moments. This is Gabriel Wee, in fact, he's in the studio with us also. He's coming home in 7th, and he will round out the participants of the race here because the rest of the drivers in the pit.
All right. You just joined us. Wow, that was one hell of a race. I mean, I was like sitting there and I was just talking to you. Oh, it's gonna be hypnotic, but no. But okay, all right. Let's talk about the outcome of the 2 races. Which one was the first race? We knew that Ethan was a firm competitor, and Mas-Wilton was just trying his luck. He just couldn't. But then again, of course, in race 2, you see the difference, and just that brief moment, he gave him that opportunity, and he took it.
So unfortunately, it wasn't 2 times the charm for Ethan. Masvi took advantage of what was offered to him. He made it count, he sealed it, and he won the race. He won the second race.
I mean, it was like to the wire, and not only that, when he was still leading, there were like 2 occasions where they went, and that little incident when they skidded off because he got nicked at the back, but he still managed to hold on to his lead. Well, kudos to these guys, they did fantastic. I'm really, really excited. Congratulations to all of them. What a race it was. Okay, for you, who stood out?
I think, equally Ethan and Masfi, these 2 guys were.
Yeah, just the same answers I do also. Yes, these 2 guys, they brought all the drama, and not forgetting, of course, we have earlier on, right, Gabriel and Jaden, and all these guys were having all the excitement, but the front bit was all the drama because these 2 guys were so fast, they weren't giving us time to breathe. All right, but anyway, like to all of you, all right, that's the end of the race. Now, of course, we're just waiting for the final results, but of course, we know it's between Ethan Yeo and, of course, Mars Vilton. These 2 guys really gave us a bit of a heart attack for me, of course, in the very beginning, where there's a slight little mistake from Ethan, and then he capitalized on it, and actually he conquered race 2. So it's a piece for each one, race 1 and race 2. All right, well, we've come to the end of round 1 of the inaugural MSS eSports Championship 2022. What a race it was. Congratulations to Ethan and Mars Vilton and the rest of the guys. We hope that our drivers and you, our viewers, enjoyed every moment of it. I believe Rehan and I the same thing. I'm running out of breath right now. I'm quite excited, but no. But do remember to join us for round 2 on the 24th of July 2022. All right, because what we do is that we'll be asking you to right now mark it down on your calendar because we'll be heading to Red Bull Ring. A circuit that's really, really exciting. Totally different. You're mentioning it's totally different from this circuit.
Yes.
So there'll be ups and downs and all the changes, elevation. So will the same guys be able to capitalize on it? Well, it remains to be seen. All right. So before we sign off, we would like to thank once again all our sponsors for making this show possible. We're talking about AES Sports, KNN, Delta Timers, S5 Technology, Cinemagic, Bellray, and Rockform. And not forgetting MSS for sanctioning and organizing this race. Well, we've come to the end of the show, and we would like to thank you, Wei-Han, for joining us. It's been a pleasure co-hosting alongside with you. And in the meantime, for all our participants, keep practicing. And for our followers, thank you for your support. Here's all of us in the studio wishing you stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon on the racetrack. All right? Okay, bye for now.